Hello, everyone! How are we doing tonight? Very well, I hope. Hi, Faust. Hi, Minri. Hi, Stars. Hi, Tia. Hi, DeadSec. Sad, because Art Fight's over? Ah! Don't be sad that it's over. Be glad that it happened. You interrupted my white woman quote moment. Yes, and summer is ending soon? Oh, not for me. I got a whole nother month of summer. But I know that in the America, that they have a different summer schedule, which is interesting. I'm very tired. I had quite a weekend. Italian ice. What is that? Crusty school. Our summer break is July and August. So we don't go back till September. My weekend was very fun, also draining. As the great TF2 soldier once said, God did not give me permission to die. I've lost my longest war. What do you mean by that, Tia? Flavored ice that's super flaky? So it's kind of like a... Oh, I think I know what you mean. It's difficult to describe. I'm almost done with pet sitting. Oh, that's good. Hopefully the pet survived all of the sitting. I hope it wasn't like a small cat or something. Very early with this, huh, DeadSec? That's fine. We'll just launch into it. Alright. Hang on, I gotta get my timer out. 5 minutes. I kind of hope it's gonna be something normal so that I can at least have a semblance of regularity. Oh no. It's a newscaster. It's anything but normal. Alright. Ow! Alright, and the 5-minute timer has started. Dead's... hang on, I gotta do that. DeadSec pops in, redeems Wheel of Accents, and promptly leaves. Is this a power move? That remains to be seen. I had a really long revenge chain, and I lost via last-minute revenge. That sounds scummy. You can see the Pinterest? Oh yeah, I forgot to change that. I'm glad
Faust of West
there was
says
no
body
revealing
print.
information.
Complete. PDA implant reset to factory settings. Warning. Atmospheric pressure above human maximum. Projected lifespan. 13 minutes. Adaptation required.
More Subnautica. I don't think I even need confirmation. I'm pretty confident in that one. Yes. I did not know that Subnautica had a hardcore mode. What's different? More fish? the air is toxic in Subnautica hardcore mode. How unfortunate. That sounds very difficult. This just in, Subnautica player tries to get oxygen and explodes and dies. Anyway, we had a very eventful art fight season. And now we've returned. We're back with more commissions. And in the meantime, between streams, yo boy is going to be working on a YouTube video. I will be making Art Fight into an art delight to watch on YouTube as a video. And
Falstaff West says, I am Noah. You're the Chi. Your life is my job is your life. I wish I could make full introductions, but courtesies must wait. We are both going to die if we stay here. There's another Noah node in the life pod outside. Get me there and I can get us both to safety.
Aiden remains very confused, as he has never played a Subnautica game, but is still trying to be supportive. Or perhaps this one is not Subnautica. I can easily be fooled. Breaking news! Blue Dextrous has entered the chat. Hello, Dex. I'm forced to speak like a news broadcaster for 1 more minute. There is indeed a wheel. How's the weather? Well, you'll have to take it up with our weatherman, Aiden Sketches, which I also do. Hello, welcome. Now it's time to cover the weather. Hot! And also incredibly windy. And today was garbage day. I took out the garbage, and it fell over many times. And then I left the house. It may as well be down the street by now. Ow! I exploded. Aiden Forecast, yes. It's me, Aiden Newscaster. Let me send it over to Aiden Forecasts for the forecast. Indeed. Okay, that's the 5 minutes over. It's funny, I was gonna talk about my weekend and about how exhausted I am, and then immediately DeadSec's like, hey, come on, funny man, talk funny. I was like, oh no. Aiden Forecasts and Aiden Newscasts. And Aiden Sportscasts as well? They do sports too, right?
The Falstaff West says the last Pioneer didn't make it to the life pod. I'm activating their black box signal. You
Black
will make
box?
it. That's why you're
Is
the
that Netflix
QI.
show? That spooky one? Anyway, yes. Hello, Dex. I didn't make the clip, but I found a clip you should make into a short. I'll send it in clips. Alright. Okay. I would like to use TTS2, please. Faust is waiting. Finger on the trigger. Ready for the 2-minute cooldown to rip it. Hey, thank you for the 5-stream streak, Faust. That's cool. Very cool. But yes, so I had quite a weekend. I was gonna say that in a Lycon voice that I got Remiel's Bang Boo as well. You did? At least that one is a different currency. The Bang Boo. I have so many Boopons. This is gonna sound crazy, but I've actually never run out of Boopons. Because I've just been saving them. And then I'll pull like a character who needs a new one. And I'll spend a couple to get the new Bang Boo. And then I just always have more left over. I always run out of Boopons, and I never know how to get more. I wish I could help. I mean, besides the store page, I don't know. They're just given to me, and I'm like, stop, give me more regular wishes, please. Or they're not called wishes in Zenless. I don't think they have a Genshin equivalent. They're just called polls. According to resources, it's Hollow Zero. Oh, I don't do that much either. Thank you for the stretch, by the way, Minri. I will stretch. Signal search? So instead of a wish, is it called a signal? Or do you say signal search? That feels like it needs a nickname.
Falst of West says
Oh
you
my
are
gosh.
burning in slow motion.
I'm putting it back to 5
Under
minutes.
60
I'm kidding. That was
atmospheres
a
of
joke.
pressure, oxygen becomes a neurotoxin. Nitrogen bubbles saturate your flesh
I'm
and
still
pry your
stretching,
joints
hang on.
apart. I've
Yes, big
opened the
weekend
door to
drop.
the adaptation chamber. Your printed
I'm
body
so
can
sore.
borrow tricks from indigenous life.
I'm a
You'll
24-year-old
feel
with
better. You'll be better.
I'm a 24-year-old with the sense of humor of a 12-year-old and the body of a incredibly handsome 50-year-old. Anyway, yeah, so Friday I drove into the city to see some friends who I hadn't talked to in quite a while, actually. Well, thank you. Wow. And we played some games. We played some Magic. We made some D&D characters, which was very fun. We came up with like a new system for rolling characters, and it was a disaster. We did the classic roll 4 6-sided dice, and then drop the lowest one, and that's like your score. But we did it in order. So we did like 4 dice, that's your strength score. Then 4 dice, that's your dexterity score. And you didn't get to pick. And we ended up with 4 characters who were basically all fighters. I don't know why we rolled the best on strength and con for literally everyone, but we did. And then we had a thing where if your character's total score was below point buy minimum, then you could use the point buy system to get back up. But we would roll a d6 to see what stat you added a point to, because we wanted it to be completely random. The only reason I did that is because I know my
Falst of West
characters
says
are my
user
players.
death imminent. Proceed to adaptation.
Adaptation. My players like to be strong, and they just wouldn't have fun in D&D if they weren't at least a little min-maxed, and those characters were ass before we added that to them. Do y'all just make new characters all the time or something? No, actually, I'm gonna DM a little campaign for them. Fall's just eating text-to-speech, yeah. Like I said, waiting, finger on the trigger, probably has a timer in the corner going for every 2 minutes, ready to click it. So that was Friday, Magic and D&D, which I loved, but I don't have the core rulebooks for the 2024 edition of D&D, which we wanted to use because it has new like rules or new mechanics is the word I was looking for weapons. Like sometimes a sword will have the cleave property or the nick property or something. And what are commissions again? Welcome in, Ruby. Commissions are people pay me on VGen and I draw them stuff. Just doing my daily commissions, like in all my favorite gacha games. Dex still topping the leaderboard. And also I like the healing mechanics in the 2024 rules for D&D. Gonna make that brush a little smaller. I think that's better. So I wanted to use the 2024 rules, but I only have the 2014 books. I wish there was some way to, like... There's a lot of websites where you can
Falst
make
of West
characters.
says thanks to Altera Pioneer Nanotech, your body can adapt survival traits from a Zezuran rat. Proceed to the sampling pavilion.
My brain, I get so sidetracked anytime anything happens, which is not good. I need to just keep plowing on through. I wish there was a way to plug in your books. Like I bought my books before like D&D Beyond and other character creator websites were commonplace. But it would be nice if you bought like a rule book and there was a code in it that you could like plug into D&D Beyond or something, and then it would give you that as an online material as well. Because I do think it's a little silly that you can shill out like, I think it's $50 American, which is like 75 Canadian dollars for each book. So if you want to get the DM's guide, the monster manual, and the player's handbook, it's 75 times 3, which is what? 215? And then plus tax, it's a lot of tax as well. Somewhere between 200 and 250 bucks just for the books. And then if you want to buy them online, you have to pay that again, which I think is quite silly. And also, like, I already gave them the money for the rule books, and then they updated it. So, like, now my rule books are moot, and I can't get them updated. So, the good news is you can find all that pertinent information online, but it doesn't give you the convenience of the character creators, which is fine for me, because I love, like, printing off a character sheet and doing pencil and paper approach, but my players do not want to do that, which puts me in a tough position. I'm glad you liked it, Ree.
Falst of West says gene donor found.
Oh
you
my
must
gosh.
adapt alien traits to survive.
You actually are just
Sampling.
waiting for the 2 minute
Adapting
timer to be done
trimethylamine
so you
in
can take
oxide synthesis.
TTS.
Pressure tolerance increased. Vital signs stabilizing. Congratulations. This orb is now your relative.
The orb is your relative? What is this game about? Also, Faust, are you typing these out? Or are you on like a Subnautica wiki and just copy pasting walls of text? If James gets on today, I'll gamble like 5k in the slots. Wow, very nice. Well, okay, I'll hold you to that. We'll hope to see James. Hi, Pizza Corgi. These are absolutely copy pasted, yeah. But how cool would it be if Faust was actually like, there's the text to speech, I gotta get ready for the next one, and for the 2 minutes, just like frantically typing at the keyboard. So, that was Friday. Then Saturday was the big day. I drove down to the city early in the morning. I mean, I got home late Friday night. I got a little bit of sleep. Then drove down to the city, Saturday. I met up with some friends. Then we went to, like, the local fair, which has a bunch of amusement park rides and everything. Can I say, what a scam. I used to go there all the time, and I don't know if I just fronted the cost and didn't think about it. Like, maybe I'm getting, maybe I'm becoming more of a penny pincher in my old age, my advanced senior citizenship. But, well, okay, what I think it is you can get a pass where you can go on, like, any ride for free. It's not free, but, you know, when you have the pass, you can get on any ride. And I would always get that one because I always had people to go with who are adrenaline junkies like me, and they would go on, like, every roller coaster available. But this time I was going with friends who didn't want to go on any rides, so I was like, whatever, I'll spend like a couple bucks. I'll go on a few rides just for fun, and then we can hang out the rest of the day. And so I spent 10 bucks to get 14 tickets. And then we walked around the fairgrounds. And every single ride costs 15 tickets. How is that allowed? You're charging people for not enough tickets to go on one ride? I think the reason they can get away with it is because if you go to the, like, kid land where they have all of the, like, little rides, the, like, you know, mirror mazes and tiny little roller coasters for kids, those cost 12. And you don't have to be a kid. So, like, you could buy the cheapest amount of tickets, get 14 tickets, go and walk through the mirror maze one time with children, and technically get money's worth. So, I thought that was ridiculous. $10 for 14 tickets, which doesn't get you any ride except for the kids' ones. So, I didn't know that, of course, because you have to buy tickets right when you go in. I bought tickets when we went in for 10 bucks, because I was like, I don't want to spend a lot of money. And then I couldn't go on any rides. So I went on one of the little kid rides. And then I went back and I bought the pass so that I could go on any ride. And then me and my buddy went on a bunch of rides. He did get kind of sick halfway through, so we didn't go on that many rides. But I think we still got, fair amounts of our money's worth. But I just thought, what a scam. Like that, I can just imagine the boardroom of all these people trying to come up with what's the best way we can squeeze the most amount of money out of your average person. I think I have 5 commissions lined up, stars.
Objection!
I'm copy pasting things that I've written down. The things I've written down are the dialogue of Subnautica 2. There is no wiki right now. Oh, really? Hasn't Subnautica 2 been out for like a couple months now? Interesting. Ren fairs are just flea markets at this point. I've never even been to a Ren fair. I would love to go. Even if it is just a flea market, I feel like it could be fun. You get to dress up. I mean, you need to have somebody to go with though, right? It would be cool to get dressed up with somebody and then at least you can like go around and show off your costumes or whatever. But yeah, we don't have Ren fairs here. So I can't really, go to one. Which is unfortunate. But yeah, so we did that. It was really hot. And the rides were incredibly expensive. But we still had a good time. We got to, like, hang out and walk around. Also, so much AI-generated artwork. Quote-unquote artwork. It was actually pissing me off. A lot of the big carnival rides have like designs on the outside, and I think it's just a wrap. You know how you can buy a wrap to wrap your car, and it's not actually paint, but it's kind of like a wallpaper that you can. I think they get that, but of course they aren't gonna pay real artists, so they print out AI slop and then slap that on the side of their rides. But even at the carnival games, like ring toss, and that one where you hit the thing with a hammer and try to ring the bell, you know what I mean? It just AI generated slop everywhere. Like, they're hanging signs, there's posters, the walls are covered with them, like on the people's uniforms. I was like, this really is like capitalism hell. It was so bad. Nothing but AI and overpriced corn dogs. So that wasn't the greatest. But then we went to some game stores. I bought an expansion for Coup. If anyone's played Coup, great game. I got an expansion for it. And then we had dinner, which was really nice. We got to sit on a patio and eat burgers and play the games that we bought from the game store. And then we went bowling. And I had my best game of bowling ever. I got, I think, 150 by the end of it, which is not, like, great, but I'm not a bowler. I'm a baller, not a bowler. I just don't go bowling that much. So it was very fun. I think I had my best game, and then immediately, like, back to back, I had my worst game. My best game, my last 3 throws were all strikes, which is crazy. Like, I'd never even gotten 2 back-to-back strikes before, and I got 3. I felt so cool. And then we started a new game, and immediately, like, worst game of bowling I've ever done. I hit, like, 1 pin, and then 3 gutter balls, and then 1 pin, and then 2 more gutter balls. It's just a nightmare. But we had fun. So then I got home again late last night. And then this morning, I was guns to go to church, but I slept in. And then I realized by the time that I got there, because my city is completely filled with construction, because it's Canada, so it's construction season, I was literally not going to get there in time. So I didn't go. And then I met up with a buddy for lunch, and we watched Spider-Man Brand New Day. I won't spoil anything because it's not only is it a brand new day, it's a brand new movie. So, I won't spoil anything, but I will say, great movie. I very much enjoyed it. So, if you were concerned about the movie not being good because Marvel has fumbled the bag a lot recently, I would say give it a try. Because I really liked it. It's probably... Well, I don't actually know. It's good. I don't need to say more than that. Yo, Rypixel, welcome in. POV, me and Wii Sports bowling. I used to be so goated in bowling. Yo, me too. I think I got a perfect 300 at one point. I was so proud of that. Did you, you guys know the little trick in Wii Sports bowling where you run it along the guardrail on the side? And if you do it just right, there's a button that goes click, and then all of the pins fall down. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. It's crazy. You can cheat the system, although it's not really cheating. You have to be incredibly skilled to pull it off. Like me. You didn't watch the Odyssey in IMAX just as Nolan intended. No, I didn't. But I did watch Spider-Man in... It was called like Laser View or something. It's just a 4K projector, but they, they have to give it some fancy sounding name. And then after that movie, I had to pee so bad, but after movies, the bathrooms are so packed, I didn't go. I forced myself to drive home, which was a mistake. Because it's not a short drive. So I got home, peed for like a minute straight, made a quick egg salad sandwich, and here we are. So if I sound tired, it's because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, and I got even less sleep the night before. And I've been doing a lot of driving, which really tires me out. I drive a lot, at least to do stuff, because there's nothing in my immediate vicinity. I have to go all over to be able to do stuff. And driving really tires me out. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I am just exhausted when I drive anywhere. It might be because of the construction. It's one thing to, like, know where you're going. If I know where I'm going when I'm driving, it's less exhausting, because I'm like, oh yeah, I've done this many times before. I know where I am, and I know where I'm going. It's more exhausting if you don't know where you're going, because you're all nervous. You're like, can I turn here? And can I take this? And where do I go? And am I being too slow? And all this. The worst is where you think you know where you're going, and then there's construction blocking it off. I got in my car. I was like, great, I know the way home from here. So I start driving that way. I get to the main road, closed off for construction. And then I'm like frantically reaching for my phone, trying to get Google Maps out, being like, I don't know where I am. I don't know which way to turn. So I turn like left, and sure enough, that's the wrong way. I'm literally going the opposite direction from my home. I was lured into a false sense of security, thinking that I knew where to go, and then construction said, screw you, all of the main roads are closed, find another way. And then I was thrown into just a miasma of confusion. And it's also Google Maps, so they're like, drive into this guy's backyard. And I'm like, nope, that's not right. I'm gonna go this way and just hope for the best. I think that's a spoons thing. Yeah, it might be. I can definitely see that. My spoons drain quickly. The liquid from my spoons drains most speedily when I'm driving. I think it's also because there are just so many bad drivers around here. You guys know those memes about not every truck tailgates you, but if you're getting tailgated, it's a truck. It's true. At least where I live, it's very true. I'm always, like, really nervous, being like, okay, I need to get into that lane, and then I think I'm taking this exit, but it could be the one after this. I can't really tell. They're really close together, and Google Maps is really good. And then I'm just on my ass, in my rearview mirror, there's just a truck a centimeter away from my car, like waiting for me to speed up. And I'm like, I'm already going over the speed limit. Why do we always need to be going 30 over? Can we just relax for a second? Rez, welcome in. I'm always tailgated by a wannabe sports car like a Honda or a Subaru. That's funny. It's so different here. I feel like I never get tailgated by sedans or things like Hondas or Subarus. It's always the big pickup trucks. And it's funny because sometimes you can just tell. Yo, welcome in, job application-y. Welcome back. Sometimes you can tell by the way they're driving. You're like, when that truck gets up to me, they're gonna like start swerving to get around me and squeezing through dangerous gaps and tailgating me. And then sure enough, they get close enough and they're freaking, yeah, it's rough. I don't like driving. It is the classic example of, I think my driving style is the correct one, and I think everybody else's driving style is stupid. But I will say, I think I am a very reasonable driver, and I try to follow as many rules as I possibly can while also being safe on the road. Like I've said before, there are some rules that are just like, if the speed limit is 100, this is kilometers, by the way, I'm not going 100 miles an hour. If the speed limit's 100 and everybody else is going like 115, I try to speed up a little to match the flow of traffic, because it's dangerous if you're going a lot slower than everybody else. I'm not saying that it's good that the other people are speeding that much. I actually don't think it is. But I always try to be like, what's the safest thing I can do here? What's the most reasonable thing that I can do to ensure my and everyone else's on the road's safety? And I don't think anybody else thinks that way when they're driving, because they're either going 80 when it's 100, or they're going 130 when it's 100. And they're like, you have a big truck who's going 130, like waiting for you behind you, being like, oh, get a load of this guy, he's so slow. And I'm like, no, I'm going the speed limit. You're going 30 over. Why are you mad at me? You're the one putting people in danger. So yeah, I really don't like driving for that reason. I love driving. I drive big truck. Yes. Flow of traffic. Exactly, Rezi. You get it. I'm so late. Sorry, cutie. I was in another stream. That's okay. Don't worry about it, James. It's funny how, like, the way people type gives me a different impression of them, because I'm looking at job application's message, and I feel like I have to say this as a distinguished British butler. It appears as if I have come across another broadcast of yours in another random encounter. You can thank my algorithm, m'lady. In the same way that, oh, what was their name? What is it? Noobster. When Noobster shows up, I have to get the gremlin voice out, because it's always the most insane shit. Yeah, that too. Hey Dex, look who showed up. What, job application-y? Why, do these two have beef? Is there generational beef happening in chat that I'm unaware of? The children are fighting? Oh, it's James. Oh, yeah, no, that makes a lot more sense. It's because James is here. It appears I've come across another broadcast. Yeah, that's very funny. Woo, Mawani, my princess. Oh my gosh, Dex actually did it, the mad lad. James, to give you context, Dex said that if James shows up, I'll bet 5,000 on the slots. And look, They did. Oh no, Dex, did you lose it all? We can officially no longer say that Dex is hacking. We can't say that Dex is cheating the system. Oh, down to number 4. Oof. Oh. James is so excited to see somebody else lose. Yeah, James, now let's see it. You've got 5,000 to spend. Go ahead. Put your money where your mouth is. Let's see you earn this title. I'm just kidding. Thank you very much, Minri. It was annoying being at the top. I feel ya. Oh! James is going with 1,000. Respectable. People keep yelling at you, Dex. For being number 1. Schmitty Werber Jaegerman Jensen. He was number 1. SpongeBob reference. Oh no, it's the rest of the money! It's the rest of Dex's money! I'm more of a duel guy. Why, did you lose it? Did you lose the slots? I'm assuming you did because I didn't get a message saying you won. So I'm just gonna assume that you lost. Guys, maybe the slot machines are cold today. Farewell forever. No, did you lose again? No, what's the scoreboard like now? Skill issue? Yeah, get better at skilled slot machines. I really want to play Clover Pit. Speaking of slot machines, there's just some roguelike itch in my mind that I think would be very scratched by Clover Pit. 35 stream streak. James, I appreciate you. Was there any doubt that you would show up? Viewing this from a YouTube perspective is always so funny to me. I don't know why. You're watching all the Twitchlings burn their children's inheritance. Maybe that's why. And fight amongst each other. Look at this. They're dueling now. I never heard of this thing. What thing? How some no one ever dueled me for my fortune? Mods, give Dex all of his money back and then duel for it. I'm just kidding. Don't actually do that. Can you imagine? Aiden, you're a fake friend? Whoa. You can call me many things. Untrue things. But you could call me a femboy. You could call me a bottom. You could call me gay. You can call me an egg. But a fake friend? No. If someone's not my friend, I will tell them. It was my birthday Thursday and you said nothing. In my defense, the last time you were in stream was like, feels like it was 6 months ago. I'm just saying. Also, welcome back. Somewhat. Of course you name all of those. Don't say that as if this is something that I'm putting out there. I am always refuting those claims. It's y'all. The only reason that those 3 were on my mind is because it's hounded on me constantly. Over and over and over again. Speak how you feel or something like that. Wait, Aiden is a bottom? No! Also, no, Minri, don't give Dex all the gold back. He gambled that away fair and square. And now everyone is dueling Dex. Yo, I don't think Dex has the money for this anymore. Yeah, only one only one person dueling at a time, all right? I mean, you guys can duel each other, but if one person's already in a duel, then you can't take him out and duel them again. I still have like 900. Yeah, you could do some 50 duels. Just don't be asking for any 1000s or anything. Oh, I'm in a duel? Minry. What did I just say? No, Dex! No! Wow, very confident. I see you trust your skills. Welcome back, Job. Oh no. This money is useless to me. That is fair, Minry. I'll get it back in a month or something. Well, we'll see if you win. You might get it back right now. You guys are just so flippantly spending. It's shocking. This coming from the guy who didn't want to spend more than $10 at the theme park. Amusement park? What's the difference between a theme park and an amusement park? Theme parks don't really have themes. And I can be amused at a theme park. Oh no. Dex. The first shall be last. I have a add-on or software, I guess, called Stream Avatars, where that's the little characters that you see walking around. And one of the many things you can do with them is get them to fight each other, and you can also stake money on it in the form of gold. So when they're dueling each other, they're putting money on the line. The game randomly outputs like damage of them attacking each other, and then whoever survives the duel gets to keep the money. So it is all random. Go on, gamble, Twitchlings. Listen to the voices. Does job application get their own voice, or is that reserved for Noobster? I'm gonna be honest. I started doing a voice for job application-y, but I don't even remember what Noobster's voice was. I think if I start a pantheon of voices for each individual viewer, I'm just gonna get it wrong. Like every time. And nobody wants that. And they're doing it again. James and Stars are dueling. But, Art Fight is done. I had a great time with my first year of Art Fight. It was really fun. It went by really quickly. At least that's how it felt to me. I was quite shocked. People spoke a lot about Art Fight burnout, about how they get really tired and they lose motivation to keep drawing. Sometimes halfway through, sometimes closer to the end, sometimes even earlier than that. But in my experience, it was over too soon. I had more people that I wanted to attack. Quite a few more. And I was ready. I was ready to keep fighting. I'm out there on the battlefield with my greatsword, like, who's my next challenger? And then it was over. I was like, what the heck? It's done now. But I suppose that's a good thing, right? I much prefer that to the alternative of, oh my gosh, that felt like it took forever. I'm glad it's over, right? So I had a lot of fun. And I can't believe I didn't realize this is a thing. But as a newcomer, I didn't know they hid the totals the week before it ends. So you can't see the scores. So I have no idea which team was winning for that last week, and I have no idea which team won in the end. It was really close when I checked last, and that was quite a while ago. And a lot of people are being defeatist, saying, oh, well, Team Comedy's definitely going to win. They have the most people. But when we checked, I think Team Mystery had the most people. And the scores are very close, so like it's definitely a toss-up. It could be any of the teams. It's like watching a freaking ant farm. That's so funny. Wow, you got hit only... It's like in an anime voice. Wow, you got hit only one time. Well done. Burnout, more like skill issue. Tia probably attacked everyone. Yeah, Tia probably did. My hands are covered in painted blood of my enemies. I think I ended up with like 15 or 16 attacks that I did, which I was quite satisfied with. Who did win? We don't know. We have to wait 2 weeks before the winners are announced. The winning team is announced. So we're just left in suspense. I wonder why. Like, is 2 weeks how long it takes for the mods to look over everything? Surely they're not going to look over every attack unless they have a team of like 50,000 mods and a very intricate, elaborate system. I don't think they do. I don't think they're going to look over everything. And it's automated, right? Why 2 weeks? I was thinking it could just be for suspense, but that's way too long. Like, if you give it a couple days to a week, that's enough time for me to keep it in my mind and get suspense. 2 weeks? After a week and a half, I've forgotten about Art Fight already. And then you have another half a week, and then they're like, oh, they announced the winners for Art Fight. I'm like, oh, whatever. That was like 2 weeks ago. Like, it's done. At least in my mind. For some reason, I don't remember the hidden scores. Maybe it's early memory loss. I think it was just for the week, or maybe even not that long. Maybe it was just a couple days leading up to the end of the event. But they did definitely hide the scores. I got 20 attacks done this year. Aiden ADHD attention span really showing. What do you mean? Did I read a message twice? That's gonna happen sometimes. Oh no, just the fact that if it's 2 weeks, you got to admit 2 weeks is a long time. Like they do weekly TV shows for a reason. If you see an episode every Friday, that's enough time for you to still be excited about the next episode. Imagine if it was every second Friday. Or every third Friday, rather. So you have to wait 2 entire... Or I guess it would be second Friday, right? 1 Friday, then you wait a week to that Friday, then a second week to the next Friday. I would forget about the show. I got other things going on in my life, you know? The 2 weeks is most likely so mods can look through any... That's a crazy name. I'm just gonna call you Jacob. Thanks for the follow. The 2 weeks is most likely so mods can look through any reports of attacks that may have inaccurate points. That's what I was thinking, but... Like, do they just look at the biggest attacks? I don't know how you decide what's potentially accurate and what's not. Because they can't look through every single attack. There's like... There was, what, 250,000 people on each team? Oh, a report. Yeah, it could maybe be maybe it's just them investigating their reports. That makes sense. Sorry, that's my buddy Jack. I forgot that was his username. Are you being for real right now? Yes, you're right, Asher. Reports of attacks. That makes sense. I was wondering how they figured out which ones to look at, but reports. No, I don't know them. Okay. Okay. Also, it's Jake, right? Not Jack. Do Jacobs go as Jack? What's the long form of Jack? There is none, right? It's just Jack. Jackson? Yeah, maybe. But not everyone who's named Jack, their Nicholas name isn't Jackson, is it? Surely there's a Jack out there whose name is just Jack. Not every Jack is actually a Jackson. I have a friend who's just Jack. Okay, that makes sense to me. Glad to hear that. Job application-y. I might try it again next year as well, but we'll have to see. That's a long ways away. I've received 3 attacks from artists I look up to. Pause for applause. And all of which are featured in videos, so I'm very satisfied. Cool, very cool. Let's ponder this, indeed. I do have a friend named Jacob who goes by Jack. That's interesting. I didn't think that was something you could do. I thought you had to be Jake if you were Jacob. Because you're changing your vowel, you fool. But then again, Richard becomes Dick, so... I don't know who came up with these rules, but they're wildly inconsistent. I should be the new nickname guy. I'd be really good at it. If you have a friend named Siobhan, their nickname is Shove. I see stars. I think that's just like... I saw some profiles where people have a lot of characters, and that's a good thing, but if you have a lot of characters, don't expect all of them to be attacked. What about Jacqueline? I used to know a Jacqueline who went by Jackie, but yeah, I guess you could also go as Jack. But you should spell it J-A-C-Q, Jack, like this. If your full name is Jacqueline, then that's how you should spell your nickname of Jack, right? I think I finished customizing my stream avatar name tag. Should I send the pic in other artworks or self-promo? Probably self-promo. I couldn't tell you why, but that feels like the vibe. What about Jacques? Or are you saying that's Jack? That's Jacqueline? It's Jaqueline. It's Shathid. Bless you, stars. Jack? Jacques? Jackie. Aaron. Present. Present. That's self-promo now? Okay, heck yeah. Like my friend's puppet, Jacques-Pierre Baudoir. Eh oui. Eh mais oui, Jacques-Pierre Baudoir. Oh, those are cute. I love those name tags. They're very well suited to your vibe. The vibe of your stream. I like them. This is supposed to be a scared emote, and it's looking more like the disgusted Tanjiro meme. You guys know what I mean? I love throwing that meme around. It's one of my faves. It's also my Twitter profile picture. Ah! Phoenix, welcome in. Hope you're well. When someone approaches Minryu with mint, yeah, Drew, go away! It's this meme. This is the one. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two pictures. They're the same picture. No, this one looks more like you're afraid for your life. This one is more like just the emotion captured in this image is so awesome. I remember watching Demon Slayer with my sister, and it's like one of the first anime she ever watched. And we were talking about the merit of animated shows versus live action. And I, of course, was arguing in favor of animated shows, and she was arguing for live action. And she was like, with live action, you can get so much more emotion out of the characters. And on the one hand, I completely agree, because there's only so much you can capture in a drawing. Like, over the course of millions of years, human beings have evolved to notice, like, the slightest change in someone's facial expression. So we're really good at reading people. It can be the tiniest little shift, and you'll pick it up and notice it, and you can read what it means. So there's a lot that an actor's face can convey. However, don't sell short the power of animation. There's some seriously good, like, it's not quite as nuanced, but I think it gets the job done well enough in animation. And that's certainly a trade-off I'm willing to make for the benefits that you get from animation. There's a reason they keep trying to make live-action avatars, and they always suck. Just wanted to pop in and say thank you so much for the art fight attack. Oh, you're welcome. I hope you liked it. Tanjiro cosplay alone? Did you? I see you found my other, my main channel, Rypixel. Did you watch that cosplaying alone video? I'll be right back, cutie. Keep being disgusting, Tanjiro. Thank you. That's a huge compliment. Should I just save my signal searches for now until I see a unit I really like?
Linux
Yes,
says
I would
of course
do that.
Aiden is streaming. I can't stand this guy. I
There
get
he
extremely
is.
livid every time I see him online. Tisk, such a disappointment. Aiden, you're not as much of an intellectual heavyweight you think you are.
Alex, I hope you realize that's not a high bar. I don't think of myself as a particularly intelligent person. Wait, this is an Aiden stream. Why am I encouraging sketching? Exactly. Oh, the throwing is broken? See? Everyone says, oh, Aiden, you need to update tits. You need to... So I go through, I find my information. I get back to Itch.io. I delete all of the old stuff. I uninstall it. I install the new version. I set it all up the way I had it before, and it still breaks anyway. It's not me, y'all. I'm not doing this. It's Tits that's doing this. I'm telling you. There we go. I actually watched it a while back, but I didn't realize that was you. Wait, what? Seriously? I came across your feed twice? That's crazy. That's... Oh my gosh. Pixel, you're making me feel famous. Oh yeah, you just happened to watch that video. Yeah, that super cool video. You know, the one that basically everybody's seen. Yeah, that was... Ow. Okay, yeah, I should shut up. Did you authenticate it? How do you... What is that? Like, link it to Twitch? Yes. I did do that. The refund through stuff? Yeah, because I reset it. It should be working now. But I think we need to stop trying to fix it. Because I'm at my wit's end. I've tried everything. It's just broken. I literally deleted all of the old files and downloaded the newest version, and it's still broken. It's a problem with tits. I haven't had to re-authenticate or turn off and on since I updated it. Cool. I'm jealous. I have updated it and I just had to, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, well, that could also be another thing, is maybe it's because I'm on Windows. Maybe the breakage is a compatibility issue with Linux. Division 1 hater. That does sound like a crazy moment. I can't... That's so wild. I can't imagine somebody discovering my content and then, like, coming back way later. Like, that means that you organically found my stuff twice, which is crazy. That's a good sign, I guess, that I'm hitting the right audience. If YouTube is really like, no, try again. You'll like this guy. Ow. It's okay, the Q-Clear ones don't hurt as much as the regular ones. I might actually... Oh wait, no, I need to do the ponytail still. I want to resize this so it's a little bit bigger, fits the screen better. It's just so hard to see the Twitch emotes. Because they're so teeny tiny. It took me a lot of work to get that Ayo emote to be actually readable. To be fair, I also make them Discord emotes. Yeah! How do you do that? Because you don't need Nitro, right? I should learn how to do that. You didn't follow any of my tips? Don't you know I'm a world famous artist? Dex, I don't know what the angle is here. I thought you said that we were not supposed to be sketching. And now we're back to it. You just upload them to your server, Aiden? Okay, well, I don't know how to do that. Don't... What's the word? Not compromise. Don't patronize me. That's the word. I found it. Go to your server settings, search for emoji, and then you can upload up to 50. Interesting. I should do that. Well, yeah, but I already gave you the tips. Now it's disrespectful. And how come you don't know this? You literally have a Discord. Against my will. No, I'm kidding. I don't know anything about Discord. I pulled up a YouTube tutorial that was like, here's how to set up your Discord server. And I just did exactly what the guy said, and that's the Discord server. Ow. You have Nitro, you can use the emojis on any server? Nah, I'm not giving Discord a penny. Not after what they did to me. Thank you for the hydrate, DeadSec. Also, this is something I wanted to talk about. It's kind of drama-esque. So maybe I shouldn't say anything. But I wanna. So, did you guys hear about the Hank Green thing? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of taking the internet by storm. Right? It is crazy. That is so wild. That's like a classic don't meet your heroes situation. Like, don't put your celebrities up on a pedestal. A great example of that. For anyone who's unfamiliar, and I could talk about this more when ads are done. It just came out that Hank Green has been using AI. Huge turd of disappointment. Turd of disappointment. My favorite tool to measure with. Turds. Yeah. He was using it. From what I understand, I haven't delved very deep into it. I've only gotten like surface level people chatting about it. So I wanted to throw my hat in the ring, of course, because I'm a yapper and I want to yap about literally everything. He was using AI as a research assistant is what it was called. I don't think it was used for, well, I haven't seen the like Reddit post where Hank himself talks about it. I don't think it was used for scripts or anything, but I did hear some people say that it was, so I don't totally know. But we do know for sure that he was using ChatGPT, or I don't know if it was specifically that one, some other LLM that was used in every one of his videos. I think it was in his scripts, though, because people had noticed the reason this started is because people noticed he was speaking differently in his videos. And they were like, he sounds like ChatGPT while he's talking. I think it was every video for the last 3 months or something like that. If you want actual numbers, don't take my word for it. I don't know the specifics, but there's a post on Reddit that was made. You can find that where he himself talks about it, so obviously that's the primary source. I'm not making a Slack server for work. I know, right? It is crazy, right, Pixel? And it was for a lot of them. And he talks about using AI as like a research assistant, but also he talks about like his dependency on it now and how he's like worried that he's becoming addicted to it and that it's going to be a problem. I know someone who should be making Slack servers instead of Discord servers. Wait, really? So somebody's boss is paying them on Discord. But I think she's a workaholic animator. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. But I think the big thing, I think the reason that this is like blowing up so much is because many people, myself included, sort of looked up to Hank Green as like an internet father figure, as like the really smart guy who does his research and you can trust him to be honest about his research, that he's poured over the data and you trust him, so you can take him at his word when he says, here are the numbers on something. And then it comes out that he's using AI for his research. I watched a lot of Hank Green videos in the past 3 months, and now it throws everything into question. I'm like, I don't know if any of these statistics are correct, because not only was he using AI for research, which means that the figures could be altered, they could be incorrect, but he was also like hiding it. There were rumors circulating that he was using it, and he didn't say anything until this big Reddit post, which certainly feels like an apology. You know, when a YouTuber drops a big Reddit post trying to explain their actions, that's not a good look. You've done something. You've misstepped somewhere. It might be a small misstep, but, you know, whatever it is, you're not dropping Reddit posts talking about how beautiful the sun was this afternoon, you know? It's like you're addressing allegations. So to me, this is just completely my opinion. To me, it seems like you know you're doing something wrong if you're covering something up, not revealing it to people. Especially someone like Hank Green. You'd think if you were being straightforward... Am I the asshole? The sun looked really good today. Yeah, exactly. You go to Reddit making big posts for drama. Oh, what was I saying? You think you'd put a disclaimer, like with content creators like that. You would hope that they'd be forthcoming enough to say, here's where AI was used. At least my favorite creators, my favorite creators don't use AI at all. But even if it's a video about AI and they use AI examples to like illustrate what they're talking about, like even if it's harsh against AI, they'll have a disclaimer and be like, this is what was used to generate this figure and whatever. You know, Eddie Burback's video on AI psychosis clearly shows his conversations and stuff. Like, there's a disclaimer about how much usage is being done, and that didn't happen, which just straight up feels disingenuous from the get-go. And the other thing is, from what I really should just read the damn Reddit post, but a lot of people were like, he didn't apologize. He's like, I should use it less. And you're like, no, Hank, you should use it none. You should use it not at all. That's a bad thing to use. You shouldn't be doing that. So, that was sad. I hope he stops using it. Honestly, I stopped putting faith in famous white men. The only exception is Bleem. I have no idea who that is. I think it's just, you need a healthy amount of skepticism for everyone. Don't put people up on a pedestal. Oh, Brendan Lee Mulligan. Oh, I see. Even look, Brendan is very based. Love that guy. But I would say just flat across the board, don't get 100% invested into anybody. Famous figures I'm talking about. Because you could easily have said that about Hank Green. Oh yeah, there's so many, problematic figures out there, but the only exception's Hank Green. Our golden boy. And then this happens. Like, no one expected it. No one expects it from Brendan Lee Mulligan, but no one expected it from... I already got a tattoo saying I support everything Brendan Lee Mulligan said. Uh-oh. But yeah. There's a reason that there's all these sayings like don't meet your heroes and don't put anybody up on a pedestal because everyone's mistakes. So your favorite content creators are going to make mistakes, and they're human and they do make mistakes. Don't meet your heroes is a thing for a reason. Yeah. I'm no exception. I make mistakes all the time. I'm sure this has happened before, but I'm pretty sure there was a pretty big company that recently got called in a bunch of debt because they used AI for stats and it lied saying that they had more profit. That's crazy. That is also crazy. There are so many scams that I get. If you watch CoffeeZilla, you'll see that like there are so many scams, which is just people with a business that didn't do well, but they just had too many empty promises. They were reporting things wrong or saying that they had more money than they did. So using an AI for that is like, that's like a recipe for going to court. I love CoffeeZilla. Great investigations from that man. But yeah, so many of his videos are about some influencer or hoity-toity CEO comes up with like a new Dogecoin or something, and they're like, this is going to be profitable because I'm really famous, so people are going to buy this because I'm famous, and that'll make it worth more when more people are investing in it. And then it doesn't do as well as they thought, because of course it doesn't. But when they're doing reports and stuff, they're like, yeah, it's going so well, it's going super great, we have so much money, everyone's buying stuff. Meanwhile, they're looking at their company's stocks and it's like plummeting. And then when they go bankrupt and all of these people who invested lose all of their money, that's when you get sued, is when you lied about how well your business was doing. If you say we have a bunch of money and you don't have any money, you can go to court for that. People can sue you for that. It's everywhere on CoffeeZilla's channel. So I cannot imagine having an AI in control of like your stats for your company. Because if your AI gets it wrong, which it probably will, and tells all your shareholders, your stockholders that, yeah, the company's doing super well, we have a lot of money, and then you actually don't have a lot of money, you're getting sued. But, I mean, you should know better than to use AI for that. Just, at a certain point, I stop feeling bad. I mean, it's not like I feel bad for the CEOs anyway, who are scamming people, like literal scammers. I don't feel bad for them. But, when people are using AI for bookkeeping, I'm like, you asked for this. Come on. Shady, welcome back. I agree, empty promises are the worst. And they can also get you sent to prison. I'm back. I see 0 progress has been made. How dare you? I did the other sideburn thing. Unless you were here for that, in which case 0 progress has been made. We were talking about the Hank Green AI situation, and then also about companies using AI in general. Should I pay my taxes? AI says no. Well, I'm no expert in the law in England. But I do know that AI is most often wrong. So if I had to place my bet, I would say yes, pay your taxes. I'm gonna make some ice cream with 2 frozen banana. That sounds so good. Wait, oh wait, the bananas are frozen though? Don't you want to have room temp bananas with the cold ice cream? Frozen bananas, I feel like would just like hurt your teeth. Wouldn't they be super cold? England? Ew! England? In it? England's not that bad. It's where the Monty Python guys are from, and I love those guys. John Cleese. Now that's a legend. I put that guy up on a pedestal. No, I'm kidding. They're gonna had it with one yesterday. Eating frozen bananas? That sounds crazy to me. Is that normal? It would hurt your teeth so bad. They don't freeze solid. I know what a frozen banana is. I want somebody else to say it's normal, not you, James. I can't. Aw, damn it. I guess I go pay my stupid taxes so I keep getting my stupid free universal healthcare. Yay, universal healthcare. Let's go, twinsies. It's not. Thank you, Dex. See, this is why we get a second opinion. It's room temp bananas or death. Okay, good. I'm glad that we agree on this. Anyone else remember those chocolate dipped frozen bananas? I remember those. You could get, was that like a Disneyland thing? They cover bananas in chocolate and you could eat them. Yeah, I love Monty Python. Dex, it's for ice cream though. Yeah, it's still not normal. A sundae is a room temp banana with cold ice cream. That's the whole thing. If you're having pie with ice cream, you don't freeze the pie. If you're having cake with ice cream, you don't freeze the cake. It's cold ice cream with room temperature or hot thing. Not frozen thing with more frozen thing, especially a banana. Ice cream you can kind of slurp down, you know what I mean? But a banana, you have to bite into that with your teeth. Once your teeth sink into the frozen banana, that's freaking nerve damage. That's going into my brain. I hate that, but also I can't do water fountains because sometimes they're too cold for my teeth. Frozen bananas are for smoothies because they can blend better? I didn't even know that. I put regular bananas in my smoothies. I'm not just biting a frozen banana. Okay, explain. Explain yourself, James. How do you eat the banana without biting the banana? This is one of these times I wish we had a proper clips account. Can you clip stuff on YouTube? Maybe not. But if you clip something on Twitch, I might post it. And also, if you clip something on Twitch, you can post it. You're waiting till they get room temp? If that's the case, then that's exactly what I do. Waviob. Welcome in. Hi. Hope you're doing well. A blender, kinda. What? What? This changes everything. I'm so confused. You say ice cream with banana, I think whole banana. Now you put it in a blender? What's happening? I go now. Alright, thanks for popping in, stars. What are we talking about here? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You pour blended banana over your ice cream? You're even more of a psychopath. Or on YouTube, download the VOD, cut out the clip, and then post it in the Discord for clips. Yeah, that works too. We do have a clips channel on the Discord, so you can do that too. I said hold on, I'll send a video? What is a video gonna reveal that can't be said over text? I'm so confused. Is it blended banana? Is it not blended banana? That's not a banana split. That's a banana shake. That's a banana splits. That's a banana blend. I don't know what the heck is going on. When I... B-Wave. Thank you for the follow. He's modeling a banana in Blender. Oh, see, that makes sense. Why didn't you just say that? That's the only reasonable answer to this question. You're making a 3D banana. In which case, of course, as you do, I've modeled a couple bananas in my day. If you know what I mean. I hope you do, because I don't. I don't know what I mean by that. Wait, why do you have a video? Hang on, can we take a step back again? James, why do you have a video of you blending bananas? I'm so confused. Wait, what's going on? Or are you gonna go make one right now? Are you gonna go get it? You just got some frozen bananas on standby. On Bananby. You're just gonna go get some. I'm recording. You are? You have frozen bananas on standby on Bananby? What? I don't understand. Okay, am I wrong in thinking that something's either blended or it's not blended? If it's not blended, it's a whole banana. If you cut it up, that's different. We're talking about a blender here. It's either a whole banana or you blend it and it's not a whole banana. Are you blending it for like 0.02 seconds so that it just gets kind of like beat up a little? And then putting it on the ice cream? Because then you're still biting frozen bananas. So far the claims that, I'm sorry, I'm going crazy, but so far the claims that have been made is that you freeze bananas to put on ice cream, but you don't bite them, but you also don't blend them, but you also don't not blend them. And in order to explain this to us, it must be done in video format. What the hell is going on? I'm so lost right now. How are these things possible at the same time? How did we get here, I wonder? I don't know. Not blended yet? I'm so lost. Do you guys want a battle? Do you want a boss battle?
Wow.
Oh, hey, buddy. What's his name? Wilbur? Wally. Wally is his name. We want a battle royale? Man, I missed this stream Friday. Do you mean like you wish that there was one Friday? Or do you mean that you missed the one that was on Friday? Because there wasn't one on Friday. I was gone. I was actually going to do a makeup stream on Saturday because I thought we were just going to go to the fair in the morning. And then they were like, should we go to the game store? And I was like, well, we're here. It won't take that much time. And then they're like, should we go get food? And I was like, well, I am pretty hungry. And then after that, they're like, do you want to go bowling? I was like, well, I'm already too late. I'm already late for streaming, so I might as well. Do we want to fight a boss or each other? Maybe each other? I don't know. How many people are in for a boss fight? We need the gang, the team. I wish there was one. These streams are healing. That's so nice. It's like the nicest thing that anyone has said. Thank you, Dex. I'm glad that you think so. Sometimes I think the bullying takes over. I did just bully James for like 10 minutes. To be fair, I wasn't trying to make fun of James. I'm lost. Yo, Popman! I think if there are less than like 5 chatters, it's a duel. If there are more, then it's a boss fight. That's not bad. I know that Minri's always down. Dex is always down. I don't know how many other people would want to participate in a boss fight. At least not right now. I have to be nice to you sometimes, just like I have to be nice to Al. Is there a quota or something that you have to make? Or just that, like, we'll, like, slowly get sadder. Yeah, I think we'll do a battle royale. I've also been thinking I should draw little chibis for my, they're not called cards, posters or something, whatever the thing is in Twitch where you scroll down and you see the rules. There's like usually there's like an FAQ and there's like rules and there's like a donation page or something, whatever those are called. I just have little like very simple looking banners and I'm like, I should draw a picture of myself because that's what all the other people are doing. It's the reminder that I tease you because it's how I show I know you quota. Aw, okay, that's actually awesome. That's great. That's the way to do it. Yeah. The thing is, I say that like teasing is my love language, but it's a different kind of love. Well, first of all, the whole love languages thing is kind of made up, but also the reason that I say that is because like I think it's very funny in moderation. If somebody comes up with something clever and specific to make fun of me with, I love that. But I did not know that, Dex. I did not know that. Also, congrats, Garen, for winning the boss battle. I've been doing pretty well, Popman. And yourself? Yes, panels. Thank you. Panels. I should draw little characters for the panels. But, oh gosh, where was I? Sorry, you can tell I'm tired because of how often I'm losing my train of thought. Choo-choo, there it goes, off the tracks. Yes, I think it's fun to be teased in bursts. You can get teased in bursts, especially if it's a good bit. If it's a good, if there's a new bit and everybody plays into it, that's hilarious. But it is nice to break up the pattern a little bit and like actually be nice, because then I remember, okay, yeah, that is just teasing. Without that, sometimes the loving bullying just starts to feel like bullying if that's all that you get. You get it, Dex. You get it. Look in general. General. What is that? Okay, that's not a blender. This video is so funny. Okay. Somehow it's worse. Allow me to illustrate what I'm seeing here. There's a cup full of frozen bananas. There's some kind of immersion blender. Okay, thank you, Dex. There's an immersion blender that's made the bananas into banana paste. I guess to go on the ice cream. So that solves, that does answer a question where I was like, that sounds bad because you'd have to bite into a frozen banana. This is not true. It's a banana paste. You don't have to use your teeth. You don't have to bite it. Okay. So now that that's cleared up, why the hell would you go with banana paste over a regular banana? It looks so cursed. I didn't want to have to clean my blender. Oh, you don't usually use that. You usually use a blender, but okay, I see. That is fair. So this looks worse somehow. I don't, yeah. Maybe you mix it with the ice cream and make it homogeneous, and so it becomes like banana flavored ice cream. It's not going on ice cream. It's just that. What? You make banana mush, cold banana mush, and then just eat it? You what? If I didn't know better, I'd think you were British. What is this food that you've made? What is this meal you've come up with? It's crazy. What the heck? There's ice cream in there when I blended it. Oh, okay, so it is a homogeneous mixture. Okay, so I understand it. You're trying to make banana flavored ice cream. This I can see. Drink a smoothie. Everyone remember Aiden hates banana texture. Yes, this is an important thing. I can't eat bananas without gagging. I may be biased against this invention. Who's insulting my food? That was me, I'm sorry. But I'm like 60% British, so I can make fun of 60% of your foods, I guess? I'm not allowed to make fun of dick, hard dick, what's it called? Floppy dick? What's the pudding thing called? Or beans on toast. It's smoothie-esque. It is kind of smoothie-esque. Spotted dick, thank you. This is why AI can never truly compare to the human IQ. They can only ever mimic us. And I don't think anyone would be brave enough to plug my bullshit into an AI. Why is British food named so silly? I don't know, man. They just did that. Hello, can I get a spot of spotted dick, please? Just don't dog on a full English. I won't. I'll admit, most of a full English looks delicious. Not blood sausage. That looks bad. I've never tried blood sausage. I don't want it. I'll take the eggs and the beans on toast and everything. Just keep the blood sausage away from me, please. I sent the result photo as well. Okay, alright. Well, I'll take a look at that as well. Okay. That, I'll give it to you. That just straight up looks like ice cream. It does look kind of good. Except, I would not be able to handle it because I hate the texture of banana. Banana ice cream is just way worse than vanilla ice cream for me. But if you put it in a smoothie, oddly enough, it doesn't work in the same way. I like bananas in smoothies. It's just not enough rice for me. That is fair. It's not the texture, it's just the taste of it. I don't know what it is, but I can tell by looking at that photo that I would hate it. It's just banana-y enough that I would probably gag if I tried to eat that. Do you like banana taffy? Yeah. I can handle the fake banana flavor. It's the real banana flavor that... I mean, it's mostly the texture, but... It's also not my go-to. Like, I don't seek out banana-flavored things. I'll eat it if somebody gives me, like, candy. But banana's never my go-to flavor for anything, even candy. I think my go-to flavor is probably, like, blueberry. I love blueberry-flavored stuff. Anything but organic foods, bro. No, just bananas. I'm just talking about bananas, okay? I love apples, I love oranges, I love pears, I love coconut and pineapple and blueberries and blackberries and most fruits I very much enjoy. It's just bananas. I don't like they're kind of, they feel slimy to me. I don't like how stringy they are. Why does a fruit have veins? I don't like it. Why is there body horror in my breakfast? Aiden, why are you running so many damn ads? It's not me, it's Twitch. They choose. Slimy? They feel... are you sure you're eating bananas, brother? But here's the thing. They're a little damp. You know what I mean? Imagine, okay, here's the difference. Put an apple in your hand. Squeeze the apple. What happens? Nothing. It retains its shape. A banana, you squeeze a banana, it becomes mush in your hands. That's what I mean by slimy. Like, what do you mean veins? I mean the little strings on the outside that you peel. They got all these strings. That's the veins. That's the vein of the banana. It's disgusting. It's like eating hair. Thick, mushy hair. It's horrible. Okay, but like banana Laffy Taffy? That would be good, but like I prefer the other flavors of Laffy Taffy, honestly. How are we supposed to boss fight in these conditions? If I was really smart, I would go until like the hour plus 38 minutes, or like maybe 40 minutes, because that means the next ad won't run for another half hour. Do you love me, the Aiden, because I'm fruity? This is a trap into getting me to say I love you. I'll just say I love fruit in both plants and human beings. Apples and oranges, that's like comparing two dissimilar things. Do you also hate celery? No. Because if you squeeze a celery, it doesn't go in your hand. Yes, I understand what you're trying to do, that it's like hair, right? Which I see that, and I will admit that's the worst part of celery. I don't love celery. It's not my go-to. But whatever the veins are on bananas are so much worse. I think it might be because celery is just that. It's those little strands that you get is all that celery is. But for some reason there's the banana, and then it's got this stuff on the outside. Like if you peel that stuff off, then it's gone and there's just banana. Why does it have that? Why what ugh. Who goes around crushing bananas in their palms? R/whoosh. You've missed the point. The point is a free throw, and you are Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Do you think I'm disgusted by people squishing bananas? I don't like the texture of bananas because they are squishable. It's not the act of squishing a banana. Shush, shush, shush. Shut up, shut up. That's the perfect reaction, honestly. Okay, but I have the grip strength of an adult man. If I squeeze an apple, it will be crushed. Okay. I didn't realize I was gonna have to be this specific. I thought y'all would give me the benefit of the doubt because I'm trying to connect with you. But I see that we're just lawyering and trying to prove me wrong. So allow me to illustrate. If a toddler gripped a banana, it would go mushy. If a toddler gripped an apple, shit, it would probably be too big and it would fall out of their hands. Foiled again. I must stick to the bit. You know what? I can respect that. This is like my mental comparison to doing the dishes as a gross stomach digestion thing. I kind of get that. Imagine instead of the hand, it's the mouth. Same texture either way. Thank you, Dex. Thank you. Do you like avocado? Kind of. If you put avocado on a taco, I love it. If you put avocado on toast, I'm a little queasy. I won't lie. Although, put a handle on that. However, that's usually in the morning when you have avocado toast, and I'm a little sick in the morning. I get a little nauseous in the morning. I don't like to eat right when I wake up. Probably if you gave me like avocado toast with an egg at lunchtime, I would eat that shit up and love it. Okay, but toddlers also throw bananas. Is that what you expect us to do? And apples. Because you already throw fruit at my head. Avocado toast. What about tomatoes? Hate tomatoes. Disgusting. Disgusting. They besmirch the name of fruit. Ow. Yeah, like that. Tomatoes don't belong in fruits. I know that's just like technically what they're categorized as, but they don't deserve it. They should be stripped of that title and given a third title that's worse than vegetables. It should be the food group should be like vegetables, fruits, and then just weird shit. Oops, that wasn't a banana. There's a reason I don't let you guys throw bananas at me. They're mushy. What's your favorite fruit? Can I be a basic bitch and just say apples? I love apples. You can make an apple cobbler. You can make an apple pie. A rhubarb pie is pretty goated. Although, it might be oranges. The only advantage that apples get is that they don't surprise me with seeds sometimes when they're supposed to be seedless. Y'all ever buy a packet of seedless oranges and they have seeds in them and you think you're gonna die for a second? Hi Aubrey, welcome in. Shoot, that's valid. Say something else. I must be a hater. I'm sorry, my takes are just too based. But like raw? Yeah, I love snacking on an apple. They're so easy, you just give them a quick rinse so that the gross people at the supermarket don't get their grubby fingers on it, and then you're in the clear. You can cut them up, add them to a snack tray. They make a great addition. Or you can just chow down. The only work you have to do is avoiding the core. Which is like, when you start, you don't even have to worry about that. Or if you're crazy, you could just eat the entire apple core as well. Some people just do that. Which scares me a little bit. I love kiwi. Sadly, I cannot eat them anymore. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I like kiwi as well, but... Wait, no, I need to make you feel better. Dude, kiwis have gotten so bad recently. When was the last time you had a kiwi? So ever since that last kiwi that you had, bro, they made kiwis so bad. They started putting arsenic in them. They kill you now. Kiwis kill you now. Did you know that? So you're not missing out on anything, Minri. Don't, everybody shut up. Don't say anything. Apple core. I'm eating an apple right now. Whoa. I knew. The fates, they beamed that into my mind. It was probably like a year-ish ago. Yeah, 2026. The year of the ruined kiwis. They started putting garbage in the kiwis. They're putting chemicals in the water that turned the freaking kiwis bad. Although I can eat watermelon again, so maybe I can try them again. But you're like kind of allergic, right? Just be wary. Kiwis have a gold form now? Kiwis finally went Super Saiyan! My cat's name is Kiwi? That's a great cat name. Kiwi birds crying around the world right now? No, it's fine. This is a good thing. They finally win. They get the victory. Fly high, New Zealand. What? Don't say it like that. That makes it sound like everyone in New Zealand is dead. Man, those Lord of the Rings movies really took a toll. They filmed them in New Zealand, but at what cost? Every New Zealander, I guess. It's complicated. I can have stuff in small doses to get the first stages of the allergy, and then if I stop there, it doesn't get bad. I see. So you can try it. Just, like, don't go crazy. Don't be like, I haven't had a kiwi in a while. Let me buy a box and eat them all. I can test without danger. Or just a little bit of danger. Just a teeny... Like, what's up, danger? What's up, danger? Me taking a bite of a kiwi. You gotta play that song. It's you, like, doing the Miles Morales backwards fall off of a building, and then it cuts to you just sitting in a chair eating a kiwi. I love kiwis. Aubrey, shush! We're trying to make Minri feel better about not being able to eat kiwis. We have to make him sound as gross as possible, so that Minri wouldn't want to eat them anyway. You mean you love kiwis throwing them in the garbage? You love throwing away kiwis. Hi Astrid, welcome in. How have you been? Shush, yeah, shush. First stage is numb mouth, then a red face, then difficulty breathing, and sometimes my tongue gets on fire. Literally? Ayo? Oh no! It's the what's up danger scene. Cuts to Minri in a chair eating a kiwi. You stick your tongue out and then it goes foof, and it just catches on fire. Get the fire extinguisher! My tongue is on fire! I ate a kiwi! Get the fire extinguisher! I just spit all over my drawing tablet. I apologize. Kiwis are kind of prickly. I don't really like them that much. You eat them with the shell? Y'all can enjoy kiwis. Yeah, not literally. I figured. If it was literally, then you need to, like, go see a scientist about that. Yeah. Great, I just got back from watching the new Spider-Man film. Me too, Astrid. Don't spoil anything. No spoilers. But how'd you feel about it? I loved it. I thought it was an excellent movie. Too many feathers, not very appealing. Yeah, I don't really eat chicken. The feathers are a big turnoff. I should watch it sometime this week. Grab my gay boyfriend to watch it. Absolutely, you should. I really liked it. And this is coming from the guy who doesn't think of Tom Holland as his favorite Spider-Man. I like Tom Holland. And I think he's a very good Spider-Man. But unfortunately, I was really like, when I was watching this movie, I was really trying to change my mind. And I was like, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the movie that makes Tom Holland my favorite Spider-Man. And I watched it and I was like, man, no. I just can't get behind it. I think maybe the biggest roadblock for me is that we saw Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. It's all about the quips for me. The quips is a big deal, evidently. If you look at Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker, he's kind of goofy. He's kind of silly. Like, there's that scene where him and his bestie are talking about girls, and he's talking about his girl problems, and he does the thing where he, like, crawls over the railing. This is very niche. Probably nobody knows what I'm talking about. But there's a scene where he, like, crawls over a railing and kind of half mimes throwing himself in the river, like, being like, haha, this is so bad. Like, my life sucks. And that was just a throwaway thing. They didn't pay any attention to it. It was just a silly little thing to be like, hey, he's kind of a silly guy. So that when he puts the costume on and starts goofing around and making quips, I'm like, that makes sense. Because we've seen him as a regular person, as Peter Parker, telling funny jokes and being silly. So it's not that hard to believe that when he becomes a superhero, he lets that side of him out. Tom Holland's Peter Parker has the same issue that Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker has, which is they do not tell jokes when they're Peter Parker. They're not silly at all. They have no sense of humor. They're either very serious or they're very depressed about something. Not to say that that's without reason. Like, Spider-Man goes through a lot of stuff. He's got good reason to be sad about. Ow! He's got good reason to be sad about things. But, I think it's a lot easier to believe that Spider-Man would be, like, quipping and telling funny jokes while fighting if Peter Parker does that. Because that's a part of who he is. But when you have a Peter Parker who's deadly serious all the time and never jokes about anything, it feels very forced when suddenly Spider-Man's making all of these, like, memes and stuff. It's like, where did this come from? I understand it's supposed to be like, oh, he is kind of a different person when he puts the mask on because he can finally let his true self come out. But it's like, we've never seen that as a part of him. It just feels like very forced. Because, yeah, the argument is the masked confidence. But in my mind, if you have that sense of humor where you're telling jokes about things and you're making quips and, like, silly little remarks, it's because that's part of who you are. And I think that would come out in your everyday life. It would be so much easier for me to see Tom Holland as Spider-Man if his Peter Parker also, like, told jokes every once in a while or did quips in his everyday life, and you could be like, oh yeah, I can see that. But he never does that. He's always deadly serious. It's like, who's a very deadly serious character? Imagine if Batman, deadly serious all the time as Bruce Wayne, suddenly starts telling quips as when he puts the mask on and becomes Batman. You're like, that's weird, because that's not who he is. All of the evidence that we've seen from his actual personality, when he puts the mask on, it doesn't fit. And that's why I feel like they're giving him quips because Spider-Man's supposed to have quips, but they're not actually adding it to his character, because if that character was actually funny and told quips and stuff, he would do that in his everyday life. It was so good. It made me feel like the director of the Home trilogy, John Watts, was kind of sleeping at the wheel. This one felt so much more in character. And I liked all the cameos from other Marvel characters, and honestly didn't feel too intrusive unlike some other movies. I did like it. I don't think it's better than the Home trilogy. I think No Way Home was a better movie. This was a great movie. I loved this Spider-Man movie. It's not the best Spider-Man movie. That's part of the reason I relate so much to Spider-Man is in real life I'm constantly making jokes and sometimes they bomb and sometimes they're good, but if I can try to find a joke, I'll do it. Yeah. That's how I see it. And also, I'm someone who has lived with anxiety for his whole life, and I'm also very silly, and I can tell you that in my everyday life, I'm being silly and making jokes. It's not just when I'm, like, alone. If I had a mask, if I was Spider-Man, I would also be joking around in real life, in addition to on the battlefield. But there's just this weird disconnect where he never makes jokes. He's always such a starkly serious character as Peter Parker that I like the Andrew Garfield Peter Parker because he's silly sometimes. And so I'm like, why is he suddenly super funny telling all these jokes as Spider-Man when that we've seen nothing of that when in his normal life? What if he's just a little tsundere? Then that would be a very different movie series. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that, but you can have your opinion. Yeah, of course. If that's your favorite Spider-Man movie, then that's awesome. That's your favorite Spider-Man movie. There's nothing wrong with that. I definitely think there were shortcomings to Brand New Day as well. But I'm not really giving it a good sell. Go watch it. It's really good. Hi again, Pizza Corgi. Also, I don't know if I said good night, but good night to ya. Have a good sleep. Also, I'm a little biased because I grew up with the Tom trilogy and I've only sparsely watched the others. So, yeah, that's fair. It's good to recognize that. I grew up in the space between the Tobey Maguire movies and the Tom Holland movies. So I didn't really grow up with any Spider-Man movies. I didn't watch the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield movies until I had already seen what was it, Civil War, that introduces Spider-Man? I think I saw Civil War. I think I saw Tom Holland's Spider-Man before I saw Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield's. But then I went back and watched those. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm just an Andrew Garfield stan. And that's okay. But I think my argument is still valid. That it would be a lot easier for me to buy Peter Parker as Spider-Man if Peter Parker was funny at all in his everyday life. I know from experience you can have anxiety and still be funny and silly and tell jokes. He's not a silly person. He's always, like, brooding. I'm gonna go eat. Alright, good night, Pizza Corgi. Have a good sleep. I have a bad habit of being biased because of nostalgia. I think everyone does. My favorite video games are the ones that I played when I was a kid. And I'm sure that if I played them now, I wouldn't like them as much. And people sort of have an attitude that there's something wrong with that. It's not being biased, that's just having an opinion. I think, like, when we're talking about I like this thing because I liked it when I was a kid. Yeah, that's true. The reason I say that is just because, like, I never played Call of Duty when I was younger. And now I play Call of Duty, I'm like, it's kind of fun, but I don't really like FPSs. But I'm sure that if I played Call of Duty, if that was, like, my game, when I was younger, I'm sure that it would be, I would play way more of them, and I'd like them a lot more now. People are so uppity about having to have a reason for stuff. Yes, thank you, Dex. I 100% agree. I have had people, when I show them my favorite games, they're like, you probably only like this because of nostalgia. And I'm like, okay, maybe, you know what? Maybe you're right. I genuinely think it's a good game. Even if it's a terrible game and I'm blinded by nostalgia, I still like it. That's probably never gonna change. If I liked it as a kid, then yeah. Why is it bad to like something because it was part of your childhood? I think everyone's childhood is pretty important to them. As someone who's been surrounded by those people, yeah, it's a bit annoying. Yeah, I have also been surrounded by those kinds of people before, and I don't hang out with those people anymore. This is going to be blasphemy to a section of fans, but I do not like this Sam Raimi trilogy. He doesn't tell jokes at all, and he's also very serious when he's Peter, so it just feels like an edgy version of the character that has no substance. I can agree with you on feeling like Tom may be taking it a bit too serious when he's Peter, but I feel like at least they have the humor right, and I can feel more depth of emotion in his performance, even if he's about too serious. I agree. I agree with that, Astrid. I think, I've said this before, I like the Tobey Maguire Peter Parker because he's kind of supposed to be unlikable. In the comics, they're like, yeah, he's like a nerd. He doesn't really have many friends. Ow! Ah! The bits! They're attacking me! Hi, Shay. Welcome in. Thank you so much. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing better. But then yes, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man like doesn't do quips or anything. And I said that the Tom Holland Peter Parker has the same problem, which is that it doesn't translate. I'm like, if Spider-Man is goofy and making all these quips, I feel like Peter Parker should be, at least there should be some evidence that he has a sense of humor. Doodle the Crow, welcome in. We're doing a emote commission. We're just sketching out some ideas for now and yapping about Spider-Man. One of the things I did like about the new movie over the Home trilogy was that the stakes felt more personal. Yes, that's something that I've seen. I think it depends on the person. Like, some people like really big, like, interdimensional threats. I personally like smaller threats because it makes the character more relatable. I can relate to a Spider-Man who's having relationship problems. I cannot relate to a Spider-Man who's on a different planet fighting aliens. You know what I mean? I like the smaller scale stuff. And this movie does a great job of that. Yeah. I don't want to say too much else because it might get into spoiler territory, and I don't want to have any spoilers, but... How are you, Kazmi EP? I'm also very EP. I've had a very busy weekend. I'm a homebody. I like to draw pictures and stay at my desk. And I drove to the city 3 separate times this weekend, which is, I think, the most I've ever done that. For like, leisure. Not for work. It's 4 a.m. for you? Oh my goodness. Do you need to go to bed? I worry my stream is not relaxing enough to lull you into a peaceful slumber. I'm just gonna yell about Spider-Man. Further reason Miles Morales is my GOAT. Miles Morales, my GOAT! I love Miles Morales. He's probably my favorite Spider-Man. I love Miles Morales. Also very relatable character. I think for me, it depends on the hero. A key aspect of Spider-Man to me is his relatability and the fact, like the catchphrase, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's more street level while the Avengers are the ones dealing with the bigger threats, and I think it's important to have that distinction for your audience so they're able to choose which they find more interesting. Yes, and I think they do a good job of that in the trailer. Of showing that it's not going to be... like, of showing what the scope is of the movie. I do also think that is true, but I think generally there can be a problem where you have to keep one-upping the scale. Like, if you start with enemies on the street, and then they have to be bigger and badder next time. and then they have to be bigger and badder again. Like, there's only so much you can do, right? And then you get stuff like the Fantastic Four movie. Spoilers for that. That was what, 2024? It's like a couple years old now. So I guess that's fine to talk about. 2025 maybe. The Fantastic Four movie was a good movie. I did like it, but they took Galactus, like one of the biggest bad guys of Marvel, and they had to cram him into this tiny box. Like, Galactus had to be fooled by, like, a bait and switch where they switch the baby or something and, like, trip him. And it's like, that's the huge big bad evil guy. Like, that's hard to believe. And that scene where he stretches Reed Richards and he's like, oh, it hurts so much you're stretching me. I'm like, dude, that's your superpower. I hate this. I hated that scene. It pissed me off so much. There's lots of explanations for that scene either way, but I did not like it. But that's just the thing is, once you go bigger and bigger and bigger, it has to be this universe-destroying ending threat. And then a bunch of regular people have to be able to beat them. So there's always some reach or stretch that's, like, not totally satisfying. So I like it when you have Spider-Man fighting, like, street criminals. It just fits well to me, so I completely agree. That's my main problem with the MCU. Every film, they feel like they have to one up the other, and the characters get lost in that. Totally. I think that's why a lot of the TV shows sort of suffered. I like what they did. I'm personally a big fan of Infinity War and Endgame. Endgame's getting a lot of hate these days. I don't really know why, but they teased Thanos for a long time. One of the classic villains of the MCU. And then they did him justice. In Infinity War, that's Thanos' movie. He is the protagonist of Infinity War. The opening shot starts with Thanos. The last shot ends with Thanos. He gets what he wants. In that movie, it's his story that we're following, and the characters, the Avengers that we all know and love, are the ones trying to stop him. And then Endgame is the Avengers movie where they're the protagonists, right? That's an example of, like, a cosmic scale that's believable because they teased it for such a long time, and then they didn't weaken the bad guy. They didn't pull their punches and they're like, oh yeah, the heroes win for some BS reason even though the bad guy's way stronger. It's like, no, the bad guy was stronger, so he won. Easily my favorite Spider-Man, not including Spider-Punk in terms of side characters. Even in the multiverse of the Miles Morales, the Spider-Verse movies, even in the Spider-Verse movies, Miles Morales is still my favorite. Although, I am a sucker for a main character. I relate very much to main characters in series. Like, my favorite character from My Hero is Deku. Because I'm basic. My favorite Naruto character is just Naruto. So, maybe I'm not the best judge of character. But I'm not a critic. I'm not a film critic. I'm just a guy. With opinions. Many of them malleable. I might see a good argument about this new movie and be like, oh yeah, okay, Tom Holland's my favorite Spider-Man now. We'll call it open-mindedness, because that sounds good. Anyway, great movie. Highly enjoyed it. Would recommend it to everyone. And now I'm just waiting for Avengers Doomsday, baby. I gotta wait for December, but it's gonna happen. I think maybe these hair strands are too long. There we go. There you go. One of my friends, after they watched the film, though, did have an interesting point that I want to try to counter. They were a little concerned about it not feeling street level with the fact that the threat that Spider-Man faces in the movie has such strong powers. I think for me it makes sense even with the powers because it's a superhero film, you have to have some sort of power in it, like the Spider-Man video games do that perfectly. Yes, I think I know what you mean. I think the I think that's kind of a non sequitur, the point that your friend is trying to make, saying that it can't be street level because the enemy is strong. To me, it's, well, without getting into spoilers, it's street level because there's a lot of street fights. And, you know, it's not the, in those street fights, it's not the multiverse that's at stake. But you can, I feel like so much of what makes it a, like, street level or not is about the scale. Like, if the whole movie takes place in one city, that's street level to me. If that's the scope of the, if the city's in danger but not the multiverse, then that's not multiverse level, that's city level to me. So I mean, there's different ways to define it, but I think you can have a character who's really strong or really weak and it doesn't matter, you can still be street level. It's just that's more about the setting, honestly. All right, that's my first, that's my gut reaction anyways, is street level has more to do with the setting than it does with the power level of any of the characters. Like, you could have a, who's like a really strong character, I don't know, like Captain Marvel. You could have a street level Captain Marvel film if it's about like a heist. Like if somebody's trying to steal a diamond and Captain Marvel's stopping them and they're like moving from building to building, going through like underground channels in like a casino or whatever, trying to like steal stuff. That's a street level movie. It could have Captain Marvel and a super intelligent, super strong villain, but if it's in one city, that's a street level movie. I would even maybe venture an argument that even if it's like the fate of the world is at stake, like, oh, you click this button and this button and the whole world explodes. If it's in that setting, if it's localized to one city, it kind of still feels street level to me. I think the reason that Endgame isn't is because we're following a bunch of different characters. They're on different planets. There's just a lot going on in different settings. So I guess the way that at least I categorize if a movie is street level or not is just the setting. But I don't know, that's just me. I ain't no film critic. I don't think I'm even a particularly good, like, film discerner? I don't think I'm particularly good at, recognizing what's a good movie and what isn't. Like, I know people who can watch a movie and immediately be like, oh no, that put me off because of this and this and this, and I feel like it's a character assassination, it doesn't fit with how the character was written previously and whatever. That stuff, I feel like, goes over my head a lot of the time. I'm not like a film buff or a film graduate from a school or anything. I don't know anything more about movies than your average Joe. I'm just some guy, so if you disagree with my takes, that's just fine. I'm probably wrong. And that's fine. We just out here talking about how we approach movies, you know? I'm quite plain Jane vanilla with my movie takes. I really liked Shawshank Redemption. Although I did not care for The Godfather. I know that's a meme, but I'm being serious. That is a good dynamic. I'm not going to read that out loud because I do think it's potential spoilers. I'm going to be very hush-hush about this. There's a lot of things that don't seem like spoilers, but they could be spoilers because people are smart and they can like read between the lines of what you're saying and infer stuff about the movies. So I'm just going to shut up because this is a great movie and I do not want to spoil it for anybody. One of the most humbling things is enjoying a movie with my sister, only for her to point out like 100 things I didn't even know existed in terms of behind the scenes and why she doesn't like it. To be fair, she's a director, so no shade. That's really funny. I never even thought about how watching a movie with a director would like completely change the way you see the movie, but that makes a lot of sense. It does feel like one of those things that not it doesn't necessarily make it more difficult to enjoy, but I feel like if you were a director, it like changes the way that you view movies. Like maybe you can't just like go and see a bad movie and have a good time anymore, you know? You know what I mean? Like I I feel like someone who's like a jazz pianist or something might envy someone's ability to just sit down, listen to the piano and not like pick it apart. You know, to just sit there and enjoy the music. That's how I am about acting choices in films. I must be so annoying. No, I mean, if there are people who love talking about that kind of thing, then they would love talking about that with you. It can be pretty interesting at times. Oh, I see. What if Spider-Man was gay? Spider-Man? There's a movie for you. Marvel. Actually, don't use that. I'm copywriting it. Spider kisses men. But I think about that a lot. Not the spider kissing men thing. The fact that um I feel like it'd be better if he was bi so you can still have Mary Jane. No, this is multiverse Peter Parker. Peter pucker up and kiss men. Anyway, um I feel like people, when they become an expert in something, sometimes it loses its magic. Like, to use the piano example, I have friends who Peter Parker picked a peck of men. To be honest, I do find Tom Holland kind of cute. Well, so does everyone else. I don't think that's Spider-Man. I do not. That's crazy. I mean, to each their own, but you probably aren't going to think that I'm very cute then. Um, if you... Sorry, we're having two different conversations at the same time here. Somebody who's never played piano might sit down and listen to someone play the piano and think that it's just pure magic. Because they're like, how do you know, like, what notes to play? Or, like, especially improvisation. They could look at that and be like, it seems impossible that you can just sit there and hear something and play music to go along with it. Like, somebody who doesn't understand the inner workings, it seems like magic. And then when you learn it and, like, understand how it's done, it seems more formulaic. It loses a little bit of that magical element to it. I felt this way. An excellent illustration to me was Rubik's Cubes. I saw my friend solve a Rubik's Cube. And sorry, Ryan Pixel just says, guys, I actually think Robert Pattinson looks attractive. Is it just me or is Ryan Gosling kind of but no, I saw my friend solve a Rubik's cube. I was like, that's crazy. Like you must be a genius to be able to solve one of those. And then I watched a tutorial on how to solve a Rubik's cube and took like a week and figured it out myself. And now it doesn't seem like magic at all. I'm like, "Oh no, it's just like you just look for certain cases and you're like, "Oh, if this is here, you do this thing. If it's here, you do this thing." And you just do that over and over again until it's solved. Um it loses some of its magic. And I feel like it's kind of a bittersweet thing because if you're going back to the piano example, I love playing piano. It's super fun. It's great to be able to like sit down and plunk around and have fun with an instrument. But I feel like a professional jazz pianist, when they sit down and listen to piano, they might enjoy it, but it's a different type of enjoying. They're like picking it apart and being like, "Oh, I wonder what chord that is," and "Oh, they added an extension to that one and made it a seventh," or "Oh, that's a key change," and now they're fluctuating the dynamics or something, right? Like they're thinking about all this in very technical ways and analyzing it and picking it apart, and that's how they're appreciating it. But then you have people who've like never played the piano before, or maybe never played an instrument and they don't understand how music works. They sit down and listen to it. They can't pick it apart in that way. They just sit there and take the whole, all of the music together. They take that in and they can just like let it wash over them without picking it apart. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a different way to enjoy something. So, in becoming a master at something, you lose, I guess, that like ignorance is bliss element to it. There's something unique about being completely ignorant to how something works and just enjoying it. Um and that can apply to anything. Like, I don't know, what's a good example? I can't think of a good one. I've already used piano. Okay, wait, hang on. Tom Holland is not cute. You want to know why he's not cute? Because he's always standing next to Zendaya, who's the hottest woman alive, and immediately mogs everyone around her. Dude, I'm gay, but I'm jealous that his wife is Zendaya, dude. That man won the lottery. They're not married, are they? Are they married? Tom Holland and Zendaya? I thought they were just like dating. It's like Amy. Oh, when did that happen? When did they get married? You did hear Zendaya. It's like Amy Poehler saying when she's watching a stand-up performance, she's not laughing as much as she's observing. Oh, I see. Giggles and kicks feet. That's how I enjoy movies now. I'm picking apart the costuming, the acting choices, but I still love it. I just don't think I'll ever hate films. I think I'm just so in love with the creativity that goes into movies. Everybody had something that they wanted to add, like a brushstroke on a painting. Yeah, that's a great way to think about it. You know, everybody's put their own personal touch on it. But I do feel like the same logic applies. Like if you become a film critic, you're really good at noticing errors or being able to visualize changes that could have been made to improve the movie that weren't made, or being able to judge choices, you know, understand the terminology. That's all cool and good. But I feel like as a film critic, it must be impossible to just sit back and watch a movie and turn your brain off. In the same way that if you're like a professional saxophone player, I don't think you can just sit back, turn your brain off, and listen to some saxophone. I feel like you're not. Maybe you could, but I think it would take conscious effort. You know, music might be a different thing because I can like tune out music. Sometimes I'll put a playlist on and forget that I'm listening to music until like an hour later, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm listening to music. I was just so in the zone that I didn't even realize. Um, but I think that you'd have to put like conscious effort in to be like, I'm not gonna think about what. But even like, as a musician, you would notice those things. You'd be like, oh, this is in 5/4. I feel like a musician doesn't have to think about that. It's just like something that comes to mind when they hear music. They're like, oh, interesting. This is in 5/4. That's a unique time signature or something like that. It must be so hard to just turn your brain off and not think about the music at all and just simply be there and enjoy it if you are yourself a musician. You know what I mean? I think about this a lot. I'll attest to that. It's hard to do, so that's why I play video games to do that instead, because I'm not picking apart as much. Yes, totally. And then imagine you're like a professional game dev. How hard would it be to just enjoy video games if you yourself were a game developer? Like, you'd constantly be noticing things and be like, oh, I want to use that, or be like, that's an interesting choice, or be like, I wonder how they made that mechanic. It's, I think this is very fascinating stuff to me, about how becoming better at something, you lose, I don't know if innocence is the right word, maybe naivete, you lose, and there's a benefit to that. Funny enough, back to my sister, whenever we watch animated shows, I'm always thinking about the sound design, frame usage, etc. And yes, I do yap. My mother designs games. We can't enjoy art simply in this household. And it's interesting because I don't think one's better than the other. That's why I say that there's like two different types of being able to enjoy something, because there is a kind of childlike bliss of not knowing anything about music and being able to just turn your brain off and enjoy it and say, hey, I know nothing about this, but I kind of don't want to, because you can just let it wash over you and you're not burdened by trying to pick it apart. You know, you can just appreciate it as it is. But then when you build that skill set, you're able to take it apart and analyze it more in depth. Which is also fun to do and an interesting thing. And I think there's a difference. Like, imagine, take that jazz piano player as my example. How it might be hard to sit back and listen to jazz music on your own without picking it apart. But then put that jazz piano player with two other jazz musicians. They can talk about that music way more than non-musicians can, right? Non-musicians would be like, oh, I really like the part where it went or something like that. You know, that's about as much as you can say. But the jazz musicians are working with the same vocabulary. They both studied it. They can say, you know, oh, they went into Lydian mode there, and I really like the key change, and I didn't like when they did the Sforzando bit, you know? So there is, I mean, this seems obvious, but the way I've been talking about it, there is definitely value in being an expert at something. By Aiden, I'm gonna get Kaiju Burger. Okay, I have no idea what that is, but bye, Dex. Thanks for hanging around. I appreciate you. Hey, more liquids. It's a burger made of Godzilla. Damn, that must be expensive. There's only a limited number of those burgers, right? A fun saying that I like to think about a lot in regards to this, some of my best acting has come from watching other people's performances and taking little bits and pieces that I enjoyed from each. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It's very true. And I think that's another benefit to being good, you know, being practiced at something. If you are that jazz musician, you can listen to music and go, oh, that was really cool. I really like what they did there. I'm going to incorporate that into my playing, into my music. And you can become better at what you do, at producing stuff instead of consuming stuff, which is really cool. And if you're always, you know, thinking critically about whatever it is, music, movies, and trying to apply it yourself, then absolutely you're going to be a better artist, because you're taking things that other people have developed, things that other people have figured out, and adding it to your skill set, which is awesome. So that's another added benefit to being able to go that one step deeper. Hydration and stretch reminder. Thank you, Rypixel. Appreciate that. I will do that. Luna, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. I'm kind of working on commissions right now, but I've mostly been yapping. That's how it goes. In my opinion, the creative field is my favorite because a lot of it is a cycle of repetition. One person did this, another person took that, or continued the idea, and it continues in a cycle, spurring on new works. Even if they have similar ideas from one movie, they can still feel like their own thing. Yes, 100%. I think that is one of the coolest things about humans in general, is that, I mean, look no further than like mathematics. You can start with a basic idea. I have one thing. Now I have another one of the thing. Let's assign values to these. We'll call this 1, we'll call that 2. And then we can have a common understanding of how these numbers work. You start with something as basic as that. Then you get these genius minds who come in and they make innovations and they make discoveries and they do hard work and build on the work of people before them. And then you get crazy things like Einstein's theory of relativity. And then more physicists and mathematicians come along and they take that work that he's done and they build on it and they flesh it out and they test things. And it just continues to grow into this beautiful web of all of this stuff that's human made in this culmination of human knowledge. And it goes beyond like math and science. Like we said, art, animation's a perfect example. The first person to realize you could draw two things on a piece of paper that were similar but different, you know, like a little flip book, and notice that it makes it look different. Take that knowledge and bring it up to like Studio Mappa today. We have these beautiful like Chainsaw Man animations where they're doing rotoscoping and making just the most gorgeous movies and employing whole teams. I just think it's awesome. I think it's wonderful. It's so cool that we can do that. That we continue to build off the knowledge of our ancestors, and then the stuff that we innovate, the stuff that our generation figures out and makes and builds on and creates, the next generation is going to take and improve on that. Hi, Wally. Welcome back, James. One of my friends said I should do a film analysis podcast so I could nerd out, but he says my voice is calming, apparently. Well, there you go. It's a double whammy. You can talk about film and you can make an ASMR channel out of it at the same time. Ow! Yes, hi, James. The temptation is there for me as well to make podcasts. But the trouble is, like, if you're a film critic, you can make a kind of interesting podcast being like, you know, you have a skill set you want to apply to all of these movies. I don't really have that. I'm kind of just a guy. I don't have any like film analysis skills that I could turn into a podcast, which is what it's the classic, like, everybody makes jokes about how white guys always want their own podcast because they want to talk about everything. Even if you don't have like you got to think about why would somebody listen to your podcast. If you're like a firefighter or something, that's cool because people can listen to your stories about like your work and whatever. I don't know what people would listen to me about other than the fact that, like, I don't know, I like to think I'm open-minded and try to explore multiple sides of a thought experiment, and there are some things that I'm very passionate about, but like there are other people who are way better than, like, I would like to talk about psychology and stuff, but there are other podcasts who do that way better. So I'm like, the world doesn't need an Aiden Sketches podcast, I don't think. But then at the same time, it's like you're a unique person and everybody has their own unique voice and no one would do it the same way that I would do it. So like, why shouldn't you, right? And it would be fun. I would enjoy it. I joke about clipping the channel, and I'm sure I'm not as knowledgeable about the algorithm as you, but do you ever think about cutting bits like these out and posting them? Like, these are honestly some really good takes. Yeah, that's a good point. I usually just clip the funny moments from my streams, because I don't think I'm that smart. I don't think I'm saying anything that's like revolutionary. But when I think about it, there are a lot of VTubers who like clip themselves talking about advice and stuff. So that's not a bad idea. The only thing is how do I cut that up into a way that it makes sense? Because I tend to yap for so long that if I were to make it into a clip, the clip would be like 20 minutes long. No one's gonna watch that. I need to do what Moist Critical does and just make my rants into their own YouTube videos because they're long enough. Oh, I see those squats. Thank you, Rez. Hi, honey. I could talk about art in some way. Yeah, I don't really know that much about art, though. Art, to me, is more about practice. You know, like learning the way that somebody draws something and trying to draw it the same way. I don't know how that translates to a podcast. Yeah, so, like, when you're thinking about drawing his stomach, when you're doing abs, like, you want the shading to be, like, kind of a little bit in the middle, but, like, on the side. That's a good podcast right there. No, I don't think anybody would listen to that. Damn, there goes my chances of making Vichiban 2? What is that? Chip, hi! Welcome in. Ignoring my gnome. I'm sorry, I was behind on chat. Chip, I hope you're doing well. I'm banished to the squatting realm. Which I must do now. Ugh. I'm very well. Hey, I'm glad to hear it, Chip. Ugh. I mean, talking about stuff like collecting a unique art style, that could work, I suppose. Yeah, I guess. It's like... Ugh. I get what you mean, and I do have, like, very strong opinions on that. Strong kind of makes it feel like I'm, like, on one side or another. I just have my own personal experience with developing an art style, and it would be cool to, like, talk about it and stuff. But it's been done before. People have already made really great videos about, like, how to make your own art style. And so I feel like it would be kind of derivative. Like, it wouldn't be that original. But then at the same time, if you look at things that are done on the internet, like, if I were to do it, I would naturally, like, type out my own script and talk about it. And I'm my own person, so I would naturally make it a little bit different just by virtue of it filtering through me. But also the internet is filled with so much, like, reposting and copying people doing other trends. I think I need to stop worrying so much about, like, oh, what if people think that I'm stealing? It's like, no, it's just a part of art that people talk about their experiences with, and I'm allowed to talk about my own experience as well. You underestimate the power of having a community who will literally want you to yap for as long as possible. Yeah, I suppose that is fair. I don't know if I want to subject you guys to a Aiden Sketches podcast, though. Also, I think if I did do a podcast, it's easy on a Twitch stream to, like, joke around and be very lighthearted about everything and just, like, but on a podcast, when it's just me sitting there and talking about how I feel about life, it's naturally probably gonna get political. And it's gonna be me yapping about, like, capitalism and how much it sucks. And I don't know if that's the... I'm not a politician. I don't know a lot about politics. I'm kind of stupid. And I'm like, does the world need more ignorance? I'm ignorant about a lot of topics. Even if I did a bunch of research, I'm sure there's stuff that I would miss, and there's things I would overlook, and there's stuff that I would get wrong. I'm not an expert. So, I don't know. I guess there's a difference in, like, a podcast with an expert and a podcast of just some guy talking about his opinions. But I get that people might think that it's interesting, but at the same time, does the world need another random guy's opinion about politics? Does it matter? I don't know. I feel like if I made a podcast, I would want there to be some value and not just like, it's the Aiden podcast. Also, good night, Astrid. I don't know if you're still here or if ads are over, but Have a good night. Capitalism number one. Buy, consume. Yeah, totally. Uh-huh. It's the best. Oh, Boo Boo, you're naive. I can't tell if you're trying to add to my point or if you're trying to take away from it. Too bad Aiden isn't interesting. I genuinely don't know if this is... I don't think I'm interesting. So I don't know if this is a meme or if this is like a... I think that's sarcasm. But I don't know. Maybe I'm too hard on myself, but I'm like, what do I have to offer for a podcast? Podcast by Aiden. If you weren't interesting, I wouldn't watch. Aw, well, that's actually really nice. Thank you, James. I feel like if I were gonna make a podcast, that I would make some system for it. I would do like a. I actually did have an idea. Should I share this? It's kind of silly. I was gonna make a podcast where I take. You're gonna make me be nice to you, huh? You don't have to. If I don't like it, I don't swallow. I had an idea for a podcast where, well, I kind of had two ideas. One of them was like exploring the YouTube algorithm, where it was like, we need a place to consolidate everyone's knowledge because there's so many different opinions about the YouTube algorithm floating around there and everybody kind of fights each other. And I was like, what if we had a podcast where you could have a bunch of different people on talking about their experience and then like put those those arguments that butt heads, you could put those against each other on the podcast and see what's really underneath. And it'd be an active learning thing where the people who are on the podcast learn from the people who are commenting on the podcast so that everybody listening gets a better idea of like what the hell the YouTube algorithm actually is. But that's a very niche thing. The other one is, hey, just your generic guy VTuber to introduce yourself. It might be rough trying to get some traction. Hey, I call myself a regular guy VTuber. I never call myself generic. A regular guy VTuber is actually pretty rare. Most people are like also animals. But my other podcast idea was, gosh, I'm not drawing at all. I should draw more. My other idea was you take like quote unquote controversial issues that aren't actually controversial, like Pepsi versus Coke. Things that everybody's got a strong opinion on, but that aren't like political, really. And then you force people to debate for the other side. So like get somebody, it could just be like two random people who don't really have an opinion, or you find someone who like really strongly is in favor of Pepsi and you force them to argue against Pepsi in favor of Coca-Cola, and then vice versa. This is its own podcast. Maybe also I'm not good at staying on topic. Actually, my Embracing the Arbitrary was originally made to be a podcast with my twin, but it never went anywhere, so I moved to audio dramas. That's really cool, though. That's very cool. Just because you have face for radio doesn't mean you should have a podcast. Keep to VTubing. Okay, James, so, okay, alright, I see how it is. You were too nice to me earlier, so now you have to call me ugly and say that I'd be bad at podcasting. Okay, I see how it is. Distractable exists? Yeah, but Distractable works because Markiplier is incredibly famous. You can't make a podcast that's just the Aiden podcast if no one knows who Aiden is. Both suck, Mountain Dew is the best. Well, I agree. But those would be the only options in the podcast. The banana argument. Do you think people would actually... I'm like, I don't think people care that, well, I don't know. Maybe people would share the podcast because I said that bananas have veins. What's the value that I bring to a podcast? Saying out of pocket shit. That doesn't make sense. Maybe that's it. Maybe the highlight of the podcast is my broken brain. In that same logic, no one would care about you or me doing VTubing. That part isn't true. No, well, I think that's different because like we're funny and we do drawings and people like looking at the drawings and listening to the funnies. But I also think ow. I think outreach on a podcast is like, how do you like get more listeners on a podcast? It's not like, I don't know. A lot of people find new YouTubers because YouTube like shows them on their homepage. So like, here, check out this video. This one's doing well. Do people do that with podcasts? I don't know. I feel like it's very hard to find a podcast. I feel like you need to get people from somewhere to then, yeah, I guess you could post them as YouTube videos, maybe. But even popular podcasts like The Basement Yard, they got popular because they did like challenges and posted clips and shorts of them, and then people reposted funny moments from the podcasts onto YouTube. I guess that's part of podcasting though, is taking clips and posting them. To be honest, I had no care for that whatsoever, but once again, I must stick to the bit. Unfortunately, you do have to commit to the bit, yes. Regular guy VTuber is slowly losing his shit over dumb chat podcast. I'm not losing my shit. I'm not even like screaming at the top of my lungs right now. You guys have seen me crash out many times. I understand the idea of being very cautious about podcasts, but at the same time, they're the big thing for a reason. Ow. Yeah, that's true. And I yap enough that I think I would enjoy having a podcast. I might, to be a little vulnerable, I do care a lot about what other people think, and I do try to fit in a lot. And everyone makes fun of straight white guys for always wanting a podcast. And I'm a straight white guy who wanted a podcast. So I was like, oh, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to fit into that mold of, oh, classic white guy thinks he's so much smarter than everybody else that he deserves to have his own podcast. I'm like, I don't want to be pretentious. So I don't need a podcast. I'll show everyone that I'm cool and chill. Are you sure? You seem like you're really crashing out right now. I'm sure. Rye, have you been around long enough to see me crash out? I scream. I get loud and annoying. Yeah, but you're cute. Oh, okay. All right. I'll start the cute cast. Fine. Oh, well, that's your issue. I stopped caring about what people thought. Slightly lying here, but I'm working on it. I know, but I can just see the comments. Oh, great, another straight white guy making his podcast. I'm like, no, don't do that! This is better than a podcast? Aw. That's really nice. He definitely blushed just now. You could hear the smile. Shut up! Shut up! The blonde brunette, is that what I call it? Blonde is a joke because not all of them might be facts, and because of the streak, because of the streak in my hair. That's so funny, Chip. I'm a youngin' to the stream, I fear. I guess that is true. The youngin' doesn't understand my crash outs. I don't. Probably the only like crash out I've had is when I like talk about AI too much and I make myself mad. Ignoring my discovery of your channel almost a year ago. That's still so crazy to me that you found my YouTube video and then found me again later, and those were not connected. The Simp Corner, duh. Oh, well, okay. I guess you're right. Oh, James thinks I'm kind of ugly, but maybe I'm kind of cute. Newbie said, how dare you share your vulnerabilities? I should be meaner to you. It's that Shen comics where he's like, maybe I can be vulnerable. Fist comes in, punches it. Never again. That's gonna be me. I'm never gonna be vulnerable again on stream. If you guys are mean to me. That's a threat. I'm weaponizing my vulnerability against you. If we're sticking with the theme podcasts by Aiden, I'm trying to get away from that because I changed from... Ow. The only reason I did sketches by Aiden is because Aiden's sketches was taken. And now it's not, but like, now I don't know what to name the Discord. So it remains Discord by Aiden, because I don't know. I still remember seeing you follow me all of a sudden, and I just went, big YouTuber! Wait, deadass? Are you serious? That's so funny. There's also, yes, there's also VODs by Aiden, but I also, Aiden VODses? Is that what the name should be? Deadass? That's crazy. I don't know. I just don't think of myself that way. No, Aiden's just a cutie patootie. Well, stop. I'm getting all warm and fuzzy inside. This is so not normally. Good job, baby. Big YouTuber status. You are such a good boy. There it is. There's the patronizing. Watching VODs by Aiden, so weird. Yeah. Have you seen my main channel? Well, yes, you have. Because you watched the cosplaying alone video before you knew that I streamed. I was not even streaming yet, but you decided to follow me because you thought I deserve it. Well, what can I say? I've got an eye for talent. Is being a good boy patronizing such a good boy for your viewers? I'm not. I think I don't know. It's hard to tell the intention behind chats, but the wow 3 exclamation marks was my first indication, and then big YouTuber status. That's when I think there is cap being spoken. You don't know my intentions. I know, and it frightens me. You could be being really nice, or you could be being so mean, and I never know. Are you trying to say I'm talented? No, that's a lie. Okay, Chip. You can stream for like 9 hours without batting an eye. I fall over and seize on the ground after if I go any longer than my prescribed 3-hour mark. Are we bully Aiden? No, we're actually being really nice to me right now. It's weird. I don't know how to feel about it. But more, please. Keep going. Keep going. Tell me about how cute I am again. Pushes up glasses. Ahem. We can't have 2 noobs here. Well, it's newbie and noobster. There's a difference. Oh, then you're very handsome. Oh my gosh. Wait, really? Are you for sure? Guys, newbies said I'm handsome. This is good. Maybe stream can go a little bit longer. Recently, I did a 4.5-hour stream as my longest stream. Oh, heck yeah. Good job, Minry. What were you doing? It's so cute when you think I'm patronizing you and your big throbbing YouTuber status. See, can you understand why I'm confused? Because that is like, it's giving, it's wrapped in a gift that is a compliment, but I feel like if I unpack it, it's gonna be patronizing, and I just don't know. I think this is leaning nice, so I'm gonna take the W and say thank you, honey. That's very nice of you. I appreciate it. Stardew? Oh, heck yeah. You could play Stardew for a long time. My big, thick, throbbing YouTuber status. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Then the next day I did 4 hours on Raft. Oh yeah, you have been getting into Raft. Unfortunately, I don't have the balls to spam good boy as the sole person in the YouTube chat and have to live with this as the only text haunting the video. That's so funny. Don't worry, right, Pixel. You're stuck with the Twitch links in the chat, on the VOD at least. Look, Mom, that YouTuber was so nice and said my name. Y'all don't know how much this means to me, but I appreciate it so much because in my everyday life, YouTuber is almost a slur. People are like, people use it to like hurt you. They're like, when are you gonna get a real job? So the fact that you guys think that YouTubers are cool, I'm like, hell yeah, YouTubers are cool. I like YouTubers too, guys. In my everyday life, I can't even say that I watched something on YouTube. You know what I mean? I always have to be like, yes, I read this article. Like as if I'm reading the newspaper. No. I watched a YouTube video. I watched a CoffeeZilla video on it. But if I say that I watched a YouTuber, then they're gonna be like, okay, are you sure? Next time, why don't you read a book? And I'm like, yeah, the YouTuber actually read like 10 books. That's what the video was covering. I don't know if I can keep it up, but vibing with games super helps. Yes, I definitely understand that. Thanks, James. Look at him, he's not understanding my innuendos. No, I think the throbbing thing I got. YouTuber throws brick. Yeah, that's everyone in my real life. Should I stop gatekeeping Aiden? He should stay niche. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. You can keep me without gatekeeping me. Oh, you got a throbbing thing, all right. Your YouTuber status. And I always say that. I actually have a plaque that's hung up in my room. It says throbbing YouTuber on it. Because I'm not going to get a play button or anything, so I just have, I have the piece of paper that says throbbing YouTuber. Yes, you can do another battle royale right now. Thank you, James, for doing what I couldn't. We stan. With the little fist emoji. Stan power. Let's continue keeping Aiden's gate. I mean, if you guys want to, like, share me with your friends, I wouldn't be opposed to that. You're welcome for all these clips I farm, baby. Yeah, you've been out in the field. Truly. Working out in the field. I need to get better at marking my streams. It's just that I think every moment of all my streams are so funny and entertaining. It's like, where do I cut it off? Why bother with clips when you could just watch the entire thing because the entire thing is so funny? That's my excuse for being bad at clipping my VODs. Are you getting close to getting a bleeding heart? You've been streaming a while. If I go a minute over 3 hours, I explode. I cast testicular torsion. Counterspell. I cast damp socks. Shit, I already used my reaction. Now my socks are all wet. I don't know which one is worse. I cast common mouth. I cast fireball. What? That spell didn't even do anything. You just drank a fireball. Well, yes it did. I feel much better now. That's my favorite video on TikTok. You need to get better at bullying too. I'm okay with being bad at bullying. Cause does it make me nicer? If you're bad at bullying, does that mean maybe not. Maybe it just means that it's a skill I don't have. Why was I getting glazed on YouTube? Because Rypixel wanted to say good boy, but didn't have the courage. And you did it for them. Congrats on winning the Battle Royale, Minry. I don't care how big the room is. I cast Fireball! Fireball! Rah! I cast Longstrider. Fireball! A bleeding heart is basically the YouTube play button of Twitch. They call it a bleeding heart? Jeez Louise. John Twitch, you're getting a little crazy with it. You're just a little puppy, man. Can't even throw a good insult, but you want to insult me on stream? I tried. I thought it would be funny. I was like, what if if I joined Honey's stream right now, what's the funniest thing? And I was like, I can't be like, hi Honey, I hope you're having a good day. That's boring. I should be mean. And then I joined and realized I can't do that. James, calm down, love. All right, so 1 second you like it, Pixel, and now it's too much, huh? I don't get that reference. I'm sorry, Chip. A statue of a bleeding heart. Why would they do that? What the heck? And if you become a top 10% Twitch streamer, we'll send you a severed head. It was me, Chip. I allowed that. I let you through the gates. Oh, it's time watched. Oh, I see. Interesting. Time to let's throw fireballs at you. No, counterspell, counterspell. Please, my room is so small. A fireball will hit me no matter what. Oh, damn it. I cast exercise. I cast bigger muscles. Alright, fine. But if this takes over a minute and this stream ends up being 3 hours and a minute long and I die, it's your fault. Oh my gosh, my butt is so sore. I'm actually butt hurt and I don't know what from. Okay, hang on. I got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The number after 6, 8, 9, and 10. Guys, why is my butt sore? What happened? Did somebody punch me in my butt while I was sleeping or something? I don't get it. You can find progress in the achievements page? Dang. My heart's almost bleeding. Yippee! Thank you for the hydrate and the stretch, Minry. Oh. Well. Ow. I only sketched one emote. But did we expect any better? To be honest. Frankly, if you did, that's on you at this point. Ow! Ugh. No? Oh, I thought you said knee. I thought that was a Monty Python reference. We are the knights who say knee! Fireball! Ow! It hurt! Dude, I just took 2d6 of fire. No! Ow! Oh my gosh! Guys, I'm on death's door. I'm gonna be 1 HP soon. Thank you, Chip. I appreciate that. Thank you, Chip. I wanna raid Hive. Oh no! Wait! No! I have to get out of here before the stream of blowing happens. Nobody blow me. I'm sending you over to Hive because we cannot let the blow stream start. Anyway, thanks. Not the crunch. I already started the raid. We're not gonna have time. You freaking okay. I'm gonna speedrun some crunches, and then all of those redeems are on cooldown. So freaking stop it. No more. 1, 2. Everyone. 3. Remember that. 4. Raiden is there. 5. Raid message. 6, 7, 8. 9 and 10. Look. Our raid message is Raiden. Thank you all so much for hanging around to the end and forcing me to do exercises. I will be back on, what day is it, Sunday? I'll be back on Tuesday. We'll be doing more of this. Sorry for missing Friday. I hope that you guys enjoyed Art Fight. I know I did. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, YouTube.